We're doing NFL alt win total bets for this week for the AFC. We did the NFC last week, NFC plus the Bengals. So I'll remind you what we had on the Bengals last week. But before we get into all that, please hit like, subscribe, comment below, share this video. Visit the link in the description for the merch store. As you can see, I'm wearing something for the merch store. As always, it is our light blue, powder blue Walter football t-shirt. Guys, I will be honest with you, this is the fanciest shirt I own. I think you can wear it at weddings if you wear a nice blazer over it, and you can get it yourself here at the merch store for 10% off. You can change the color of any t-shirt. That's how I got the powder blue from this one. But we have all these options. We have mugs. We have our famous apron, playing cards, mouse pads, blankets, baby bibs, lots more here, 10% off. You can go to Amazon, buy my books. The most recent one is Jerks to the College Years, where I made fun of these wonderful people on the screen here and many others during my college years. I was 6 years at Penn State, so I had a lot of writing material. And then Safety and a Field Goal is the top 5 topic book about the NFL. So a lot of serious stuff there, but some fun stuff too. And please consider super chats and super stickers. We had a great super chat from Andy's back. We had a great super chat from Kevin Kovac on Thursday for $10. Thank you, Kevin, once again. And also Kenny gave us $1, so we get to bet $1 on something, as Kenny always references. So thank you so much, Kenny. And we are joined tonight by Andy from thelogicalapproach.com. Andy, how are you? As your camera is flickering on.
Yeah, the camera's doing that shit again, as far as that's concerned. I can't figure it out because this is the only platform that I have that issue with, this camera. So I don't know what it is, but at least you get the audio, which may or may not be the best part of it. But at least we know that there's a problem. I think I said you made it 13.5. I made it 8.5 for the number of times I'm going to lose it. We're almost halfway there on the 13.5.
I know you thought at 13.5 was high. Well, Andy's off again. Andy thought 13.5 was high. That is turns out to be very low. There we go. Andy's back again. So we might figure this out. So I guess this is like 4 already or something.
Jeez, no, it's more than that.
4, 5,
I don't know,
6,
because I am totally motionless. None of these cords are moving.
I have no idea what's going on. So guys, there we go. He's back, and he's back again. There we go. This is I don't understand what's happening. So all right, we are going, like I said, we're going to talk about AFC win total bets, and not just win total bets, the alt line bets, because as I described last week, why would you, if you want to bet like 5 units on a win total bet, like tying up $500 to win $500 is kind of rough. But if you can tie up $100 to win $300 or $200 to win $600, that's going to be pretty good. And so, yeah, you're going to be betting on fewer of them. You want to be more selective, but I think there are some great opportunities out there. For example, if you had Patriots over last year, I think the win total is 8.5. Like if you had over 9.5, 10.5, like you would have cashed out immensely. So we're going to try to find like these great bets and go team by team in the AFC. Like I said, we did the NFC last week and the Bengals. And just to remind you, we liked the over on the Bengals. Over 11.5 is plus 210. Over 10.5 is plus 115. The natural number is 9.5, or really 10. But yeah, we like the alt overs for 10.5 and 11.5, right, Andy?
Yeah. I'm actually showing. I've got the circa as of July 2nd, which was just less than a week ago. 10.5 is the number where it's minus plus 15 on the over and minus 35 on the under.
Okay, that.
And then the 11.5 is where is it here? 11.5. Oh, I always look low to high. They actually have it high to low. The 11.5 is okay. We're getting a little plus 200 and minus 235 on the under.
Okay.
11.5. So I'm basically saying 12 and 5. That sounds reasonable for.
For sure. Yeah, 12 and 5, 13 and 4, something like that. Yeah, I like that for the Bengals. The over 11.5 on DraftKings, as you can see here, is plus 210. Yeah. So
by the way, the reason why the Bengals look good is aside from the defensive improvement and everything, the rest of the division is weak. No new coaches in Baltimore. And it's not just new coaches; it's new coaches after long-time coaches in Baltimore and Pittsburgh. And then, of course, with Cleveland, they traded away their best player, and they were going to be a lousy team even with him.
Yeah, and they also and they always lose in Cleveland because of Garrett, and
Yeah.
so now that's not a problem.
Yeah.
And they also play the NFC South too,
Yeah.
so they have a very easy schedule. The slew schedule, as we point out, which is the strength of schedule based on my power rankings. The
Yeah.
Bengals have the third easiest schedule in the NFL, behind only the Lions and the Saints, who are tied for first. So
Yeah.
that's something that's very important. Obviously, you're going to make mistakes on the schedule. Like sometimes you're going to think the team's bad and they're going to be good, but the best that we can guess, the Bengals have a very easy schedule. So. Maybe this time next year we're talking about like the Saints and Panthers in the NFC Championship, but probably not. But yeah. So anyway,
You had the Seahawks and the what was it? The
Patriots, yeah, or
no,
Broncos.
in the NFC.
Oh, Seahawks and Rams. Well, yeah, Rams.
Division, two teams, same division.
Yeah, and two teams that play the NFC South as well. So maybe that's the secret sauce to getting these overs, and we'll talk about overs and unders and which teams we like. So
watch the NFC South this year goes 13-4, 12-5, and 11-6.
Yeah, that's what I was saying. Like,
and 9-8 for the fourth place team.
Right, that's what I was saying. Like, watch the Saints and Panthers be in the NFC Championship randomly.
Yeah.
It's like, oh, okay,
this
yeah,
year.
we right. Yeah, so I'm saying, yeah, we can't predict this. It's completely wrong. But I doubt that happens. So let's stick with the AFC North. We might as well, because we just talked about the Bengals. And we're not going to dive into every team just because if we feel like average.
Well, we're not going to spend a long time on some teams that
Right.
I mean, there might be a team we'll do it for the. I got one team for the AFC. No, well, we've already done one of the four teams.
Yeah. So let's go with the team that is favored over the Bengals. Actually, the Ravens are their natural total is like about 11, because the over 10.5 is -150. The over 11.5 is +115. So figure their natural number is 11, but they don't offer 11s here.
So I got the 11.5 at +15, -35. So that's a 50-cent spread versus a $1 spread on the 10.5, and $4.80 spread -260 +220. So I add them both up, but you can look at it differently. A 40-cent spread versus a 20-cent spread, 35 and 15, and a 20-cent spread on the 10.5. So 11 is probably the right number because it's a 20-cent spread on either side.
Yeah, and for the Ravens, when we did our win totals, projecting, some toss-ups in there, you had 9.5, I had 11.5, so I'm pretty much right on the number, and you can see Cincinnati as well on the screen here. We both at 12.5, so that's what we're saying, like 12 and 5, 13 and 4 made sense. So you're more likely to be anti-Ravens than me.
I'm likely to look at playing the under 11.5 at +115.
I mean the under 10.5.
See, I'm looking at circa here with the Ravens. So it's a little bit. I got 10.5, 11.5, 12.5. What are you showing up there? 9, 10, 11? 9.5, 10.5,
9.5 through 13.5. So my under 11.5 is -140. I think you said yours is -135.
11.5 on the Ravens. Yes, -135.
Okay. 10.5 is for me, it's +125. What do you have?
Say this again now. Which one?
The Ravens under 10.5. I have
+140. +140.
Okay, so that's a better number for you. Any interest in the 9.5? It's +220. The under 9.5. So,
no. I'm deliberating between the 10.5 and the 11.5. And what did I say the 10.5 was? Is +140.
Yep.
I could go under 140.
Okay. Do you want to talk about why you think the Ravens are not going to meet expectations?
Well, again, a new coach. Here we go with the camera.
Number 8, I think.
The new coach, I think, so there's a lot of things that haven't happened before that the players got to get used to, whatever new schemes are in there, all that. You got a new defensive coordinator, of course, coming back from a team that he used to be at. Let me see. That was Baltimore. +140 on the 10.5. Yeah, I think that's about the only way I would go on that. I don't think I would lay the price on 11.5. In other words, a 10-7 is still a wild card team.
Yeah. It makes sense. Yeah.
And what were they, 9-8 last year?
Yeah. Oh no, I think
or
8-9. They're
8-9,
8-9. They're
8-9,
8-9.
yeah.
Yeah. Yeah, they're 8-9.
So you got a coach in a new season. We don't know about Lamar. We don't know how effective Henry will be. We know the center is gone. So there are some changes there, but I just think in general, despite the playoff failures, I do not think it's a positive. I do not think, unlike, and I guess I disagreed with it, but most people think it was a positive change for Buffalo to get rid of McDermott. I don't feel the same way about the Ravens getting rid of Harbaugh. I don't think that's a positive.
Okay.
Now part of it, the reason why a lot of people like the McDermott firing, because the reasons are sort of similar when you think about it. Although, I mean, look, Harbaugh did win a Super Bowl, but that was like 2 centuries ago. Back against his brother Jim. Yeah. That was literally, it was like 15 years ago. Mm-hmm. The Bills haven't even gotten to the Super Bowl, and what they've only got to one, or was it 2 championship games under McDermott? They lose to Cincinnati, or
they lost to the Chiefs. They lost to the Chiefs a couple years ago. Yeah.
But the difference is that with Buffalo, they had the coach in waiting.
Right.
With Brady.
Yeah, we'll see. I mean, this could be a Tampa Bay situation, like when Dungy kept getting the Buccaneers to the playoffs, but second round, mostly some NFC championships. But they got rid of the Dungy, they brought in Gruden, and then they won the Super Bowl right away. Yeah. But then again, Gruden was already proven head coach, whereas Minter has never been a head coach in the NFL. Yeah. So that would be the difference. But
when Gruden came in, what team had he coached the year before?
The Raiders.
Team he beat in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, but he still got there.
The team he beat in the Super Bowl was the team he had coached. So there were a lot of. I mean, I won't say that was an easy win. It's easy to say, not only after the fact about how one-sided it was, but I don't know anyone who liked Tampa, who liked the Raiders in that game, given Gruden and his knowledge and knowing of the plays and the fact that who was coaching the Raiders. After
Bill
Callahan.
Bill Callahan, yeah.
Yeah, okay, that's who I thought. So, so that was a different situation. Yeah, they're taking over a good team in Baltimore, but I don't know. I think last year we started to see a bit of the decline anyway, and I'm not so sure that the decline. If they were 8-9 and they go 10-7, that's a 2-game improvement and gets them a wild card.
Yeah. Yeah, that's fair. Right. But again, they also play the NFC South. So that is they have an easier schedule than most teams. So
I think the NFC South has improved this year.
Well, it couldn't get worse. They all finished with the sub 500 records.
Well, that's because they were just very mediocre and they beat each other up for the most part.
Yeah, I guess.
All right, let's go camera again. Come on.
Number 9.
I think it's beyond that now.
Yeah, maybe.
I'm beginning to think it may go into triple digits before too long.
Like it's whoever laddered the over. Maybe Evan laddered the over.
Evan could take a bet on that. Yeah, if you can find.
Yeah. By the way,
maybe Kalshi can take bets on that, or what's the Poly Market could take bets on that.
Speaking of Baltimore,
because even though I can control it, I can't control it.
Right, that's true. There's no insider training. So speaking of Baltimore and laddering, I laddered the Orioles runs today. I bet over 4.5, 5.5, and 6.5. And I have you as inspiration because you said that you were fading the pitchers, like the horrible pitchers.
Yeah.
And the Cubs had a horrible.
Who was it tonight? Was it Ray?
Yeah.
Ray?
Yeah. Right. Yeah.
Ray,
yeah.
Colin Ray. Yeah.
Yeah. According to
I like what I like to do, and I don't know if do you have the MLB app at all?
Mm-mm.
I'm sure some of they have this game called Beat the Streak.
Oh, I heard of it. Yeah,
talk about that. Where if you can break Joe DiMaggio's record and pick a hitter to get a hit in 57 straight games, and it can be any hitter you want to pick. You don't have to pick the same hitter, obviously. Right. You win $5.6 million. It's been running 25 years. Nobody's ever gotten it. I think the closest anyone got to it was 51 in a row a few years ago. Yep. You don't have to play every day, so that if there's a day that you don't like the lineup or whatever, you don't have to make a play. You don't lose your streak. But unlike Wordle, where if you forget to play a day in Wordle, that's the New York Times crossword. The to guess the word with the 5-letter word in 6 guesses, where if you don't play, your streak goes back to 0, which made me feel very good after 151 correct days.
Ooh, what was the word that got you?
No, I just missed doing a day.
Oh, you missed that.
I didn't get it wrong. I got set back to 0 because you missed a day. In this beat the streak, okay. See, I'm even able to anticipate when it's going to happen.
11.
But in this beat the streak, you don't have to play every day. And actually, they made it quote unquote easier. And I say quote unquote because theoretically, it should be easier in a sense, because you can pick up to 2 batters in a day, but both have to get a hit. But it means that you can win in less time. So if you get sent back to 0, because as soon as one of your guys does not get a hit, or if you only pick one guy, he doesn't get a hit, streak goes back to 0. So because you are able to, and you don't have to, and some people do, some people don't. Some people will do a single player a day and 2 players another day, etc. But because you can do a second player, you have more opportunities to start a new streak, because instead of having to get 56 in a row, theoretically, if you do 2 batters and you do it correctly for 28 days, you're at 56, and then you get one more day, as opposed to waiting 56 days, or 57 days, I guess 56 days, and then lose on the 57th day. You've got fewer chances if you're only doing 1. So I actually don't like it because it defeats the purpose. Well, there's actually no. I don't. Yeah, I don't like that. I don't like another thing. You get a streak saver if your streak is between 10 and 15, and you lose. It doesn't count. Your streak stays at 10 to 15, but you can only use it once a season. I just don't like it.
If you're at 16, it doesn't work?
If you're at 16, yeah, you lose it. Now, you could have been at 14 and you missed and you had a losing hitter. It stays at 14. Yeah. But once it gets above 15, and you can only use it once. So if you're at 14, you lose, your streak stays at 14, you pick one batter that day, and you would go to 15, okay, and then you lose, you can't use it anymore because you've already used it once when you were at 14.
Is there some significance to that with DiMaggio's streak? Did something happen between games 10 to 15, or is that just because it seems so random?
No, that's just to make you start over, but not making you go 25 games before you get the freebie.
Okay, that could be heartbreaking to get to 35 and it's over.
Yeah, well, I think that's why they did it at 10 to 15. It means you were doing okay and you just had a bad day. Okay. But it's very hard to do it. In any event, and they show the percentages of a guy getting a hit on a given day based upon what their batting average is, and you figure you get 4 at bats, and so it's 1 minus the probability of going hitless. 0.3 times 0.3 times 0.8. If a 300 hitter, 0.3 times 0.3 times 0.3 times 0.3, whatever that works out to, that's the likelihood of you going 4 for 4. Right. Okay, so that's your percentage chance is the opposite of not going of not going 0 for 4.
Right.
Okay. I guess that's sort of the way it's phrased. But in any event, the whole purpose of me mentioning this is in connection with what you were talking about, your Orioles, and that is I do not look at WHIP. Now, when I handicap and bet baseball, I do look at WHIP. Okay. But when I'm playing this game, I don't look at WHIP because base on balls hurt you.
Right.
Because it takes away an at bat. So a guy may have. So what I like to look for is guys who give up more hits than innings pitched. Okay. Because I want a guy who averages more than. In other words, like a guy with a WHIP of 1.25. Okay. If the 1.25 was because he pitched 100 innings and gave up 125 hits and didn't walk anybody, that's the kind of guy I want. But if the guy pitches 100 innings and his 1.25 WHIP comes from 100 hits allowed and 25 walks allowed, that doesn't do anything for me. He's basically an inning, hitter per inning pitcher. So it's the same thing what you were talking about, going against bad pitchers in order to make a profitable wager, which is basically what you're doing when you're playing, a team like Baltimore tonight. Kyle Freeland was that guy for much of the year. Foster Griffin for Washington, who's pitched a lot better lately. April and May, he was a go-against pitcher. Michael Lorenzen of Colorado has been a go-against pitcher. So there are a lot of those. And when I'm looking to bet, I'm looking to go against bad pitchers. And when I'm looking to go in to beat the streak, I'm looking to go against pitchers who give up more hits than innings pitched. And one of the things is they also show you what the batter's lifetime record is, 3 for 11, 7 for 22, whatever it is, against today's expected starting pitcher, which is nice, but he may only get 2 at-bats against that starting pitcher.
Right.
So anyway, it's available on the MLB app. I think it's also available MLB.com if you don't have a mobile phone or don't have apps on the phone that you like to have for that kind of stuff, whatever. And it's free to play.
I think I played it a long time ago. It sounds familiar.
Yeah.
But yeah, I don't think I got past.
The closest
15.
I ever got was I had a 5-game streak. No, that's
really?
not true.
No. I was like,
no,
really?
I've been in the 20s before.
Okay. Yeah, I think I got to like 15 or something then. Speaking of streaks being snapped, I used to play Wordle every day, and then I kind of do now, but like I stopped with the streak because I had blank ATCH and couldn't.
Patch, match, latch, hatch, whole bunch of possibilities.
Watch, yeah. It was I can't.
ATCH, latch.
Yeah,
like latch on the door. Yeah,
right. There's so many of them. So
I've always felt in a situation like that, where after 4 guesses, you've got 4 of the 5 letters in the correct order. After your 4th guess, they should give it to you if you don't automatically get it on guess 5 or 6. If there's only like one of 6 possible letters that it could be. Otherwise, you've got it. Not that you have all 5 letters there, or that you have 4 of the 5 letters. They have to be 4 of the 5 letters in the correct spot.
Yeah.
And then do I do hatch? Do I do latch? Do I do match? Do I do batch?
Watch.
Do I do satch? Do I do watch?
Yeah.
You get 2 guesses. Yeah.
No.
And what they should do, is not extend. Here's my comment: they don't extend your streak by a game. You just get like a push.
Mulligan, yeah.
So if you had a 20, it's kind of like a mulligan, but it's not really a mulligan because you had the 4 letters and there were multiple possibilities for that 5th letter to be the correct letter.
Yeah. So that's when that happened. I was like, I'm done with this for a while, but I started again. So yeah.
Where are you at now?
I don't have it. I don't have the streak. I didn't log in. I just do it.
Oh, you what do you mean? You don't?
I don't.
You don't have a username or anything.
I don't log in with my user. I probably have one from before. I just do it.
I think I'm at 55 now or something.
Okay.
I made it a point because they put the new puzzle up at midnight local time.
Okay.
So at 12:01 when I'm emptying my beer, that's where I'm. I don't know.
Yeah, a few nights ago when it was pizza.
That's when I sit down on the throne and do the famous statue, with the fist under the chin.
Yeah, right on the throne. I do that, and also watch Cataclysm on her video game plays.
I thought you watch like a Facebook post of your favorite Mia.
Maybe that's when I'm done watching Cataclysm videos, maybe I'll go there. But yeah, rough signs.
What did you say? Costco?
Cataclysm.
Oh, Cataclysm. I thought you were talking about the store, Costco.
It sounds dirty, but she plays video games. She does like play video game playthroughs. She's really good.
Oh, I know people who video themselves playing video poker and they post it for half an hour of the different games.
Yeah,
that they play or the results. So
yeah, rough signs for ESPN, by the way, with Matt Miller and
what happened with him now?
Matt Miller, he
was that the fraud thing or something?
The charity fraud. Yeah.
So he's no longer there, right?
Well, I don't think they fired him officially, but I think they're doing
probably do a due diligence or something.
Well, the Missouri district attorney opened up a case against him, so he could be behind bars.
Has he been indicted?
Not yet.
Or did they just,
they're collecting
haven't
evidence.
gone to a grand jury if that's what it needs to be, or have a trial yet?
Yeah, I'm sure they're collecting evidence right now.
I'm sure Miller needs his, due process.
Yeah, right. Yeah.
All right, so I've got Baltimore under 10.5 at plus 140.
Okay. And I have no play on this. All right. The third team in the AFC North, we have the Browns. Their national number is over 5.5 minus 140. Under 5.5 is plus 115. Is that what you have around there?
Let me see here. The Browns. I'm showing. Yeah, the best number that I have is 5.5 over even minus 120 on the under. And it's a 25-cent spread on the 6.5 and a 25-cent spread on the 4.5. So 5.5 is a 20-cent spread. What did you say that you had there? What was the under 5.5?
Under 5.5 plus 115.
And I have it at minus 120. I'll take the under 5, and I'll take the under 5.5 at plus 15.
Well, we predicted, I had them at 5.5 wins. You went on 3, but that was with Garrett. So that's going to project a lot lower. The 4.5 number, what do you have? I have under 4.5 plus 220, which looks very appealing to me.
Okay, here we have plus 160.
Okay, wow. 220 looks great. Under 4.5. How's the team without Myles Garrett? How are they going to win 5 games?
What'd you say the 5.5 was?
Plus 115.
Yeah, that one I'll go with the one. I just don't like playing under 4.5 because fluky things can happen. Tennessee, Arizona, to those kind of teams.
Yes,
you know.
I know. I wrote. I think it was 4,800 words. I think that's what it was
on the Arizona, Tennessee.
Mm-hmm. Yep.
And that only got you through the first 3 quarters.
Yeah. Well, all the madness happened in the fourth quarter. And it started at the very end of the third quarter when a lot of people don't remember the spike. They remember the DeMarcado drop and they remember the ball getting kicked into the end zone. But
was there like was there like a catchable pass that should have been caught or something?
No, the Cardinals were in the red zone, still 21-6.
Right.
And the ball got snapped before Murray was ready. The ball hit him in the helmet. And the ball was trickling down, and Murray dived for the ball, and in doing so,
dove.
I don't have the book. Where is the book? It's here it is. I show you. The Associated Press style book says dived is correct.
Dive. So, what do they say about dove?
It's like the bird. Dove. Okay. Anyway, so he dived for the ball or dove, and in doing so, he hurt his ankle. That was the injury that knocked him out for the year.
Okay.
For the rest of the game, Murray couldn't throw. So I rewatched this game. Murray couldn't move. Like he couldn't move at all, and they kept him in the game. Like if they put Brissett in, maybe they would have scored a little bit more. They didn't score a single point after that. But of course, the DeMarcado touchdown.
I'm guessing they did not know the severity of the injury at all at that point.
Yeah, that's probably true.
Although I guess, well, you watched the game again, didn't you? Was he having trouble moving his feet after that?
He couldn't move. He couldn't move.
That?
He was not moving. He was not moving in the pocket.
Why didn't they keep him in the game then?
I don't know.
He's your starting quarterback.
Cardinals coaching staff.
You're up 21-6.
Yeah. Really.
If you're down 21-6, you'll probably still pull them.
Yeah, and they would have been up 28-6 with DeMarcado. But that was not Murray. That was handing the ball off on 3rd and 1.
No, but I'm saying that you're saying that even when he handed the ball off, he couldn't move.
Well, he was
after that.
Like he could do enough to hand the ball off, but he couldn't like move around. He was not scrambling. Like before that, he was moving all around the pocket. How many times was he sacked
after that? Do you know?
A few times. Yeah.
I just needed like even 2 or 3. It shows the mobility. And in fact, if the coaching staff, unless they were watching a game on their phones or something, if the coaching staff saw him having trouble moving around and getting sacked, hey, that's not how you help an injury heal.
I know. As everything that could have went wrong. And in fact, like I even wrote in the chapter, I'm like, Murphy's Law doesn't do this justice. It should be Walter Football's law.
It should be the Arizona Cardinal law.
Yeah, I put your quote in it, by the way.
Which one?
Well, multiple, but when you said fucking Cardinals.
So is that what it was? Fucking Cardinals?
Yeah, that's what you said. Yeah. And then I quoted you when you and Evan when you were talking about why you chose the Cardinals in Survivor. So yeah, that was a very long
Okay,
chapter.
yeah.
That was the longest chapter in the book by far.
Yeah. Well, no. I mean, and everything, and I think Evan and I pretty much agreed almost 100%
Yeah.
that all the 6 or 7 things that we mentioned were absolutely true. From who we played on, who we played against, what was coming into the game, and everything. Yep. The fact that we needed, that at the end of the season, I tell this to people who I'm, when I'm signing them up for the Survivor contest, I'm saying, keep in mind, there are 12 teams that you will not be using by any stretch of the imagination, not because you don't like with them, you didn't like them, but because you don't need to use them because you got 20 teams that you feel better. Yeah. But you know that some of those 20 teams are going to be in situations where they would make for a good play, and you would escape with using a team that you didn't plan on using to have available a good team that you didn't have to use yet.
Yep.
Exactly. like let's say Browns versus Cardinals. Yeah. You might be able to find a reason to prefer one team over the other in that situation, perhaps the home team. Yeah. Perhaps you could find something in the two defenses that are good. Obviously, you can't make that comment for Cleveland this year because their defense won't be as good as it was last year, and it kept them in many games and enabled them to win a number of those games. Not many, but a number.
Yeah.
So, it's nice to be agreed with on the Baltimore under.
Yeah, or obviously saying he likes the Ravens under. I'm neutral on it. I don't love the over either. But I do love the Browns under, whether it's 5.5 or 4.5. But this is the alts, so I will be betting the under 4.5. Maybe a couple.
I'm just gonna write. I'm gonna write down what you. I didn't write down what you liked last week, but I structured things. And what's the price on the under? Plus
220.
220 on the under 4.5.
Yep. And then, of course, I'll be shopping around to see if get anything better than that. Maybe a 240, 250, something like that. No. And I'll be placing these bets after I make my trip to Las Vegas, which will be in a couple weeks.
You may be making them in Las Vegas if those are your best numbers. You never know.
Yeah, that's what I do. That's what I do. I go to all these sports books. I get their numbers, and then I compare them to what they are online. And then if it's favorable in Vegas, I'll place.
You're gonna be in Vegas for what, 3-4 days?
I arrive on Wednesday and I leave Sunday. So
that's Wednesday in August, right?
No, July.
July.
In 2 weeks. In 2 weeks from now. 2 weeks from now.
Oh, okay. What's the date?
22nd. 2 weeks.
22nd.
Exactly
Okay, so it's a week after the 14th. Okay. Yeah. So it's 2 weeks from.
2 weeks from today.
Today. Yeah. Oh, okay. Yeah. So what you'll do, I guess, is you obviously have your computer with you. I guess you will go. Let's say you when do you get in town on Wednesday?
Around 6 p.m. local time, 7 p.m. local time, something like that.
Okay. Will you have a car with you or?
No, I'll just be taking Ubers.
Oh. Okay. Oh, you could take the metro, the monorail, whatever, for strip properties if you want. Although you're never sure what you're going to get, but yeah, you can go and get 7 or 8 different books. Circa Westgate will not yet be operated by Caesars. That won't be until about a week after that. But yeah, so you will probably go around, pick up the sheets, and when do you leave? On Sunday morning?
Yep.
So you might very well spend Saturday making whatever Vegas bets you're going to make. And, you may or may not make. Well, I don't know if you're going to be able to access DraftKings if you're in Nevada.
I could look at the lines. I just can't bet it.
No. I'm saying you could look at the lines, but you won't be able to make a bet at that time.
Yeah. Usually my plan is if I want to make the bets in Vegas, then I'll just do it then. If I want to make the bets online, then I'll come home on Sunday night. When I'm back home, I'll place the bets online on Sunday night.
Do you get free Wi-Fi on the plane?
Yeah, I usually don't.
Or even pay for Wi-Fi. Yeah, you can make the wagers on the plane, so don't miss out on a good number.
Yeah, I guess.
When you find out that Garrett failed his physical and is going back to the Browns.
Right. That would be
That's Cleveland Brown. That's Cleveland's luck, by the way.
Yeah, well, it's the Raiders' luck.
Well, the Raiders had it with Crosby.
Yeah.
I think the Raiders are very happy that it turned out the way it did.
Yeah, although I saw rumors saying that they might still trade him. I don't know who, but I saw speculation that he might be on the move. still.
Well, there was some concern about his end of the year. I think he was very upset. But his statements, he's very happy to be back here now.
Mm-hmm.
He likes what he sees. He likes the Mendoza. He likes the center. He likes the additions on defense. So I think he's enthusiastic.
The
we'll
what I
talk
saw,
about the Raiders a little bit later, and we'll go there. But
I saw the California Post said that the Niners could trade the 2027 first, 2028 second, and Michael Williams to the Raiders for Max Crosby.
By the way, I think, and we've seen it in the NBA this week, we're going to trade the Lakers. I think we're going to trade a 2030 and a 2031 draft choice. I think all these sports should have a rule, no more than at most 3 years out, and preferably 2 years out. So in other words, for the 2026 draft, or let's say 2027 draft, the only future draft choices you can trade would be 28 and 29.
Yeah, I totally agree with that. It's ridiculous.
And by the way, my biggest pissed off comment, or what the fuck is going on? Hey, soccer. This is not the 18th century or the 17th century or the 19th century or even the 20th century. Why don't you have a goddamn clock out there that counts down so you don't have to wonder how much time is on and how is the amount of stoppage play the correct amount? How about when they score a goal, you stop the clock, and when they put the ball in play for the next possession after the 20-minute celebration, you start the clock again? Or when a guy is flopping and they have to stop and they put the card up there and there's a 10-second thing where they don't stop the clock and start it again. It's so silly. I don't know why they do it.
I don't know.
I mean, maybe because when soccer was invented, they had to use a sundial.
I saw a funny meme, and it was like, wife said she'll take 45 minutes plus stoppage time to get ready.
Meaning about an hour.
Right. Exactly.
No, but seriously, I don't know why they do that, because or at the very least, okay, when you go into stoppage time, start showing the countdown clock, because you want to know how much time is left, because you know that the team that's leading is doing as much as they can to take time off the clock. And I don't mean simply by passing the ball, backwards rather than forwards, back into your own side of the field. But I mean, even when you're looking to put a ball in play on a corner kick, you take 10 seconds to get everything set up and look it over. Or when you're looking to throw the ball in bounds, you go after the ball that went out of bounds, 20 yards down the field, as opposed to the ball that's sitting there ready for you because the ref had put a ball there like 10 minutes ago or something, when they put it on various places on the field. I really do not see the rationale these days for. It's kind of like I could understand, when you couldn't review a play in the 1960s or 70s because they didn't have instant replay yet, or it wasn't perfected. Okay, you can't reverse a decision because there's no evidence. But we started using instant replay. Oh, it'll ruin the game. No, it'll make the games turn out more accurate. It prevents anything nefarious from coming on. As far as fixing games and things like that. Well, same thing with soccer. I mean, I don't know that this would stop. It's my suggestion, which is not a unique suggestion. I'm sure only probably about, what's the population of the world? 8 billion, and 5 billion of them know soccer. Probably about 5 billion have had the same suggestion. But you really want to know how much time has elapsed, especially in the late stages of a half or a game, and it's very easy to implement.
Yeah, I talked about this with Tom a couple weeks ago, and I said, theoretically they could go on forever. Like, what if they never end stoppage time?
Yeah.
And and Tom's like, no, but actually in cricket, they have like some games end up like 2 or 3 days. Ben Wassley was telling me from Australia. He said,
but cricket is not timed.
Right.
It could just take forever. Just like a baseball game could go 42 innings.
That's true. Yeah, that's true.
But you got 60 minutes in football, and they change the rules sometimes. I mean, college football is a little different. They change their rules that now, you don't stop it after a first down or something that they used to do. I think that was that rule. And at least in football, they are there's integrity with the timing of the game.
Mm-hmm.
Not so much. Well, maybe it's not as much as it used to be in the NBA. We would have, remember the Detroit Piston guy used to always start the clock a little bit late for when they wanted the game to go to go over the total or whatever it was back then. But I mean, for the most part, when you time a game, you should be able these days. Like I said, you didn't have the technology 50. Well, you probably did, but not as precise as it is today. Okay, probably did 50 years ago, 100 years ago. Of course, you didn't. I would think even when the World Cup started in 1930, they had stopwatches that they could have done. Now they probably, no, I'm sure they did at that point. They didn't have stopwatches that could be put on, like scoreboards where everybody could see it. I think that probably came in like 1960s for the NFL that's when they started keeping the official time. Used to be the official used to keep the time, and he'd shoot off a gun. 5 thieves would drop down to the floor in the end zone. If they're in the end zone section, and the game would end or the quarter would end at the end. That needs to be kind of neat. But no, seriously, they should have a publicly displayed timer that shows the time, because I believe, and I don't know, maybe they don't do it, but I believe that a lot of that stoppage time, unless somebody keeps track of it, and maybe they do, but it'd be right for everyone to see. But they could, add an extra 10 seconds or whatever to stoppage time, or delay it, especially if there's a game that's fixed, or you don't like a team like Egypt.
Mm-hmm.
You saw that game yesterday.
I want to ask one last question before we go on. I was having an argument with someone, so I won't tell you which side of the argument I was on. Or you could probably guess.
That's okay.
It was which sport is known? It's a two-part question. Which sport is known most for faking injuries, and does the NFL come even close to soccer in faking injuries?
I don't think the NFL comes even close. And the only other sport I could say besides soccer, and I think it's number 2, is the NBA.
Yeah. That's exactly what
injuries may be a little bit inaccurate for the NBA because it's flopping, not injuries. Soccer, it's clearly attempting to fake an injury.
Mm-hmm.
What they're doing in the NBA is flopping as far as trying to say, I did not initiate contact.
Right. Yeah. They flail around, but they don't like lie on the ground for 2 minutes.
Right. No, it's definitely soccer.
Yeah. I was talking to someone, and they said, "Oh, the NFL, there are just as many fake injuries in soccer." I'm like, I can't remember any fake injuries. Like remember against Chip Kelly's Oregon teams?
Let me put it this way. Okay,
Yeah.
let me put it this way in the NFL.
Yeah.
If you fake an injury, it's not for 10 minutes.
Mm.
You do want to slow the clock down a little bit or get somebody else in there. But I would say still basketball is closer to soccer than football.
Yeah. I mean, you saw it in college against Chip Kelly's Oregon team, when they want to slow it down. But in the NFL, like if you fake an injury, like that's a timeout you have to take. So
if it's obvious.
Yeah. And
in fact, if you're faking an injury, I would say you not only have to sit out one play, you have to sit out the balance of that drive, whether you're on offense or defense. Yeah, that's the way you totally eliminate it.
Yeah. Well, yeah, I don't even think it's a problem to eliminate, but if it works,
but I mean, it could be.
Yeah.
It could be where a defensive coordinator says, "Oh, we got the wrong guy in there" or something. So you tell one of the guys on the field to fall down and look like you twisted your ankle while we do the substitution.
Right. Yeah.
I'd say it's very infrequent.
Anyway. Yeah. It's so rare.
Yeah.
So
now the NBA has taken some steps to limit or at least curtail. Curtail was probably more frequent than limit, but to stop some of it by calling it a little bit closer. But you can't have everything be reviewed. I suppose you could, but some things like that would be. But yeah, I would say that, and it's almost like a flagrant foul, which I guess they are able to review. But if you're flopping and the official thinks that it's more than just borderline, you get a technical foul.
Yeah, I agree with that. So anyway, I would just like I said, a disagreement, and I don't understand that side of the argument. All right, let's go to the Steelers.
Maybe it's someone who doesn't watch a lot of soccer.
Oh no, they watch a lot of soccer.
Oh.
They just don't. I guess they don't watch as much NFL. So. Yeah, they're defending. So they were defending soccer, and I'm like, because I watched 1 minute of World Cup, and I was getting my shoes on. That's why the TV was on, and in that, Andy, I'm not lying to you. In that span of 1 minute, I saw three guys flopping on the ground.
Yeah,
and like I'm like, look, this is a joke. And the person I was watching was like, Oh no, it's a real injury. It's look, it's real. I'm like, no, it's not. And then
No, it's a
then the guy
real.
gets in,
It's a
yeah,
fake expression of agony on his face.
yeah, and the guy gets up like right away, and his thing's
Yeah.
fine. It's so dumb. It's so dumb.
Yeah.
Anyway, let's go on to the final team in the AFC North. We have the Steelers. I have over 8.5 plus 100. Under 8.5 is minus 120. Is that what you have?
Steelers 8.5. No, they actually have Steelers at circa 7.5, minus 150 over, plus 130 under. So that's a 20-cent line, but they also have 8.5 at plus 25 on the over, minus 45 on the under, which is 20, and 6.5 minus 260 and plus 220. So 40-cent line there, because it's just I guess more sentiment towards the under. So what'd you say? Yours 8.5?
Yeah, I have 8.5.
What's over under?
8.5 over, 8.5 plus 100, under 8.5 minus 120.
I know that we went through it. We had a big disagreement on this one. I think this was the biggest one. I had 8.5, and you had 4.
4. I just put on the screen here. Yeah,
I see that.
Yeah. I
will concede that my 8.5. Well, again, and we disagree on this because you don't like the coach. I do like the coach.
Okay.
Or let me put it this way: if I would call him at best mediocre, you call him bad. What's the number we're using for the totals here? 8.5.
Yeah.
Okay. I would tend to go under the 8.5. What's the price on that?
Minus 120.
Minus 120, but a half a unit. That's about it.
Okay.
Only because I just can't see them going 9-8, but I can't see them going 4-13 either.
Okay. Well, they don't have to go 4-13. They can go 6-11 here and get plus 255.
No, I understand that. Yeah, but what I'm saying is I don't think they're going to drop off that much with the coaching change.
Okay. Yeah.
Which one are you looking at here?
Well, the under 6.5 is plus 255, so 6-11 gets there.
So you're looking at under 6.5,
and also 7.5. I want to ladder this. I want to go 7.5.
Oh, okay. Hold on. Okay, hold on. Under the 6.5 is what price?
220. That's 255.
Plus 255.
Yes.
And then under 7.5. I mean, it's under 5.5.
There's no 5.5. 7.5 is plus 150. I'd love to find a 5.5.
Oh.
That'd be like 4 plus 400 or something.
Well, let me see what the 5.5 here is. I think I said 260. Oh,
yeah. Okay. You have 5.5.
No, I'm sorry. It was 6.5 was my low here. Plus 220. That's plus 220. Yeah. And you got a better number. Yeah.
255. Yeah. What's the 7.5? Because I have plus 150.
7.5 under is plus 130.
Okay, I have plus 150. So DraftKings is pricing this well.
You know what? I'm not gonna. I didn't realize the under 8.5 is minus 145. That's too steep for me to play a team that I think might be able to have some success this year that people don't think. So I'm going to pass on Pittsburgh.
It's minus 120. Would you play minus 120?
Because I had it. What's that?
It's minus 120 here.
Oh yeah, on the 8.5.
Would you play that?
Yeah, well, I got to play. I got to do what I would play.
And FanDuel, by the way, FanDuel has under 5.5 at plus 380.
Oh, okay. Well, you might like that one since you can't. Well, you came up with 4.5, so you only have like a half game margin. Steelers under 7.5 is plus 130. Yeah, I don't know why I had. Well, I was using your numbers.
Mm-hmm. Right.
And would you have the under on the Steelers? 7.5.
Plus 150.
You had plus 150.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, I was looking at the 8.5. So yeah, let me restate that. At under 7.5, which is what I have to deal with. I said it was.
It's at plus 130, right?
Plus 130. Yeah, that's worth a play for me.
Okay. Cool. Yeah.
In fact, that's a half unit. Because,
for once, my father-in-law has not asked me to bet the Steelers over.
Oh.
So that streak is over.
Now, because I came up with, I think, 8.5 when we did it the first time. And because there's such a wide variance here, there's so many uh, numbers that I see do like the under 7 and 10. You know what? Only a half a play on the plus 130. Only a half a
Okay.
unit.
Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
Only because I sense some value in there.
Yeah, I think that's good value. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, so if we're going to stick with reversing the order we had for the win totals, the AFC South is next, and we have the Jaguars as the team we like.
Oh, we can do it whichever way you like.
Yeah, yeah. Let's do AFC South because it's the same chart
No,
here.
but
I
I'm
don't
saying
have
you
to.
could do it in whatever order you like.
Yeah, I know. I don't have to meander across the page. I have this chart here. So
Okay.
we both had 11.5 wins for the
Well,
Jaguars.
we're going with what? Jacksonville now?
Yeah, AFC South. Yeah, the team that we like the most.
Okay.
So we both had 11.5, and the
Right.
the total is 8.5. So that's worth
Okay.
a play in itself.
Your median total is 8.5, and
Mhm.
my median total is 9.5.
Okay, interesting.
So what's your over under on the 8.5?
Minus 125 over and plus 105 under.
Minus 25 and plus 05.
Yep.
Okay, and that's on the 8.5.
Mhm.
Where I'm showing the over minus 145 and the under plus 25, and I'm showing 9.5. What are you showing 9.5 over under?
Plus 140 and minus 166.
Okay, yeah, so it's about the same adjustment. I show over 9.5 at plus 120, under minus 140. So I'll certainly look Jacksonville over the 9.5 at plus 120.
Okay. Well, the question is, do we want to go over 10.5? And looking at FanDuel real quick, it appears that DraftKings is better. Yeah, the 10.5 is plus 240 for the over. Is any interest there?
And I have plus 10.5 is plus 210.
Okay.
I could still see a little bit on that. I think I'll do a full play on the 9.5 at the plus 120, and half a unit. What I say the in my notes I can't even read here. Yeah, plus 210. I'm sorry. Okay, plus 210 for 1/2 unit. Okay.
Yeah. And for those wondering, 11.5 is plus 425.
And I do not have 11.5 here on the Jags.
That was our number, 11.5, and if that's the median, what it should be, based on our projections, you get better than 4-1.
Now, what did we have on our guesses or
we both had 11.5.
11.5, yeah.
Yeah, and so at 11.5 is better than 4-1. If it should be a coin flip, 4-1, better than 4-1. It's a good bargain. I might put like half a unit on that. This might be worth a shot.
Well, they were what, 13-4 last year?
Yeah, they're well coached. Quarterback.
Even if they go down to 11 wins,
yeah,
that's still 2 wins behind last year, and they should be a better team this year.
Yeah, well, we need 12 wins for this one to hit, but
for the 11.5,
yeah, but still, I think it's doable.
Yeah.
Okay. All right. Glad we're in agreement there. The Texans will be the next team we look at. Our projections for the Texans were 10 and 11. I had 11. You had 10.
Yeah.
And the natural number for them here on DraftKings is 9.5. I have minus 125 and plus 105.
I have minus 115, minus 105.
Okay.
So that's clearly the number for the 9.5.
Okay. FanDuel's a little bit better. They have minus 120 plus 100 for Texans.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go. I can even use the circle ones here because what do you have for 9.5?
Minus 120 and plus 100.
Okay. And I have on the Texans minus 115 on the 9.5, plus 55 on the 10.5, and I'll go both of those.
Okay. Yeah, that's something I'll look at and when I get to Vegas. But I'm not as high on the Texans as I am the Jaguars, so I don't know if I'm going to play it over.
See, 10 and I'll tell you why I'm higher on the Jaguars, on the Texans rather, because they've proven it for multiple years.
It's fair, yeah.
I know what I'm getting with Houston because, well, let me ask you this question: Do you think Houston's defense is better, worse, or about the same as last year?
About the same.
That's where I'm at.
Yeah. I do wonder. I wonder if Stroud's gonna be worse though, because he's regressed every single year. And they keep winning in spite of him. The past 2 seasons.
Yeah.
But he keeps getting worse. What if he keeps getting worse? What if it's even worse?
Well,
this
if
year?
he starts getting worse, who's the backup? Is it still
Davis Mills,
Davis Webb?
Mills.
Oh, Davis Mills, rather. Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
Davis Webb was somewhere else.
Yeah, it's the Giants guy.
Yeah. Yeah, I would think that 4 games into the season, if Stroud looks like he's struggling, they may experiment with a quarterback change. Who's the third string?
It's a good question. I'll look it up right now. But they were so close to benching him at halftime of that game.
No.
The third string quarterback is Graham Mertz. I believe from
I think that's the great grandson of Fred and Ethel Mertz.
Yeah, those guys.
And may
Florida
like,
quarterback.
May have played like Fred and Ethel Mertz.
Especially Ethel.
He was Florida, right? A Gator?
Yeah, Florida, yeah. For some reason I thought Michigan for a second. But yeah, Florida. Mills did okay last year. He wasn't terrible. He wasn't great, but he was okay.
Yeah, but is he an NFL starting quarterback based on talent?
No.
I think like Stroud is, but he sometimes doesn't live up to it. But I think he's
like a Gardner Minshew level guy. He's he can start 4, 5, 6 games.
You're talking about
General Mills.
Mills.
Yeah, General Mills. Yeah. He can start 4, 5, 6 games for you and be okay, but you don't want him long-term starter. That's definitely where you don't want to be. So.
Yeah, I like both. I like Jacksonville over 9.5 and 10.5. And I like Houston over 9.5 and 10.5. So I like both teams. I feel more comfortable because I'd rather have a below average offense and an elite defense than an elite offense and a below average defense.
Yeah, that's fair.
And I don't think that Jacksonville's a below average defense.
Oh no, they were very good defense.
They were very good defense, but I just feel more comfortable because Houston defensively has proven it longer. With the defense. 3 years now.
Yeah, Jacksonville's defense last year was 8th in EPA.
Yeah. Where was Houston? 1?
4.
Where was Denver?
Denver was 11th.
Okay.
Seattle was 1st.
Okay.
Chargers were 2nd. Their defense is awesome.
Yeah.
And then Eagles were 3rd, and then Texans 4th.
Okay. Yeah. Okay. Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay. So you're gonna be. What are you gonna do on? I don't. I didn't write it down, but that's okay. I didn't write down what you said on Jacksonville.
Yeah, I'll be betting Jacksonville aggressively. The numbers are better on Jacksonville. Texans numbers higher, so that's definitely factors in here for my.
So you may or may not play Houston.
I probably won't.
Okay. And what are you doing with Jacksonville then? What are the prices you're playing?
I'll be doing over 10.5, over 9.5, 10.5, and 11.5.
Oh,
I think 1, and maybe a half unit. Maybe I'm not sure about 11.5, but we'll see.
Okay. And what are the prices on each of those on the over?
The Jaguars were 140 for the 9.5.
That's plus
140 for the 9.5.
Okay.
Plus 240 for the 10.5.
Okay.
And plus 425 for the 11.5. That might be. I might do that. I'm not sure yet. Maybe.
Well, they won 13 last year.
Yeah.
So if they regress by 1 game, they're still going to win. That could be one where you make a half unit bet on the plus 425.
Yeah.
Because you're already going to be up 380 if you cash the 9.5 and 10.5.
Right. Yeah, exactly. It's the whole ladder situation.
So instead of being up, let's say, $100 units, if you're already up 380 and you lose the 425, you're still up 330 over a course of 2 plays.
Exactly. Yeah. Right. Yeah. And I might do 2 units on the 9.5. I'm not sure yet, but yeah, something like that. So, all right, let's go to Indianapolis. I think the hardest team to predict because we don't know about Daniel Jones. But maybe this could be an opportunity if we think that Jones might not be himself this year. So on DraftKings, I have 7.5 as the number. The over is minus 140 and the under is plus 115. What do I have at FanDuel? Let's see. Actually, FanDuel looks better for the over and worse for the under. So I'm more likely to go under.
I've got
So,
7.5, minus 30 on the over, plus 10 on the under, and
okay.
then it gets steep under 6.5, which is interesting. It goes from minus 130 on the 7.5 over to minus 215 on the over 6.5, and minus on the over 6.5 and minus 185, and on the 8.5 it's plus 135 on the over and minus 55 on the under.
Okay.
So they're taking a big position that a lot of people are going to play the under to go that big of a difference from what I say minus 130 to minus 215, going from 7.5 to 6.5.
Yeah.
I mean, yeah, on the over. Yeah, no, I'm saying the people they're likely to get over action.
Why do you think that? It seems bizarre to me. I mean,
wait a second here. Yeah. Well, I guess they're making it more expensive to go over because you got to lay 215 as opposed to minus 130.
oh no,
That's
I
a
know
big
that.
number.
I know that. But
Yeah.
like, why do you think?
No, I'm just looking at the numbers and saying that
right.
the difference between 7.5 and 8.5. You're being rewarded to go over a higher number.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Here you're being greatly penalized for going over a lower number. For example, the Colts minus 130 to minus 215. That's an 85 cent adjustment to go over one win less. And if I take a look at, for example, let me see, the Cowboy, not the Cowboys. Where's the other one I had here? Well, it's not as steep as I thought it was, but like, do you take a look at some of the others? Yeah, it's in line with some of the others. It still looks like a big adjustment to go 85 cents.
Okay, so our projections.
But I'm passing on Indianapolis.
You are okay.
Why would I even guess?
Well,
what did I say on it? What did I go on Indy?
You went 4.5. I went
5.5.
So, are you really passing under 6.5 plus 194?
Yeah.
Really? Okay. Because just
Jones could be back, and they could have the start of the season that they had with him last year, and then not the bad season that they had without him.
Yeah, it's definitely true.
I mean, we don't know about his health. We don't know about can he duplicate what he did the first part of last year. You don't have to make a bet on every team.
No. Yeah.
And I don't. Yeah.
Right. I might.
I feel there's an edge or a reasonable, realistic expectation that a team goes over or stays under.
I might.
By the way,
bet this.
My little grammar lesson. You don't go under. You stay under. You go over because you're always under until you go over.
That's true.
I rule her out and slap somebody. I'll slap myself. There we go.
I might play the under 6.5. Just because I with Achilles injuries is so difficult to come back from, especially for a scrambling quarterback. So, and
what's the price on the under 6.5?
Plus 194.
Okay.
And I would consider under 5.5 plus 340, but I don't know. That's
under what?
I don't know. The under 5.5 plus
under which
340. Under 5.5 plus 340. I might consider it.
Well, there's talent on that team.
Yeah, I know.
And it's not like Daniel Jones is a franchise quarterback. So,
yeah, but remember,
we don't know what will happen. But who's their backup? Richardson?
It's either Richardson. If they don't trade him, then it's going to be Riley Leonard.
Okay, and there'll probably be some other quarterbacks out there. Maybe Russell Wilson will unretire.
If he comes back, I'll definitely go under. No, they didn't win a single game after Jones got hurt last year.
Well, that's because, again, how experienced was Richardson as a backup, or Riley Leonard was a rookie, right?
Well, they had Rivers. Remember, they brought old man Rivers back.
Yeah, he came in there.
Yeah, and then Riley Leonard played the finale. Yeah. But no, what I mean by that is like Jones got hurt the 2 games before he got knocked out with a torn Achilles. He actually fractured his fibula against the Chiefs. And,
how many? What was their record at the time he left? Was it like 8-2 or something?
It was pretty good. Let me let's pull up their schedule here. Let's see. So the Colts were last year they were 1-0, 2-0, 3-0, 3-1. By the way, that Colts Rams game made the bad beats.
Oh, okay.
4-1, 5-1, 6-1 with the great win over the Chargers. 7-1, and then 7-2, 8-2. So they were 8-2 after that game in I think it was Spain.
And then they went 2-4 after that, right? No, I was looking at the point spread record. Yeah.
Yeah, they lost 7 in a row.
7-1, 7-2,
0-7.
8-2. Yeah, right. Yeah.
Yeah,
and let me see, were any of those competitive?
Yeah, so
3-point loss, 4-point loss, a 2-point loss in there, 6-point loss, and an 8-point loss.
Yeah,
so they're reasonably competitive. Yeah,
some blowouts mixed in too.
Only 2.
Yeah, this Chiefs game, they were up, and then Jones fractured his fibula, and then they didn't score after that. And then the Texans game, Jones couldn't even move, so they lost to the Texans. And then here's where I think Leonard came in during this Jaguars game. Okay. Jones got knocked out in the first quarter, and then there was Leonard, and then it was Rivers here against Seattle. Rivers here against the Niners, Rivers against the Jaguars again, and then this finale was Riley Leonard.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't know enough of their situation to confidently predict anything.
It's a tough one. Under. It's a tough one for sure. But I like I said, torn Achilles are very difficult to come back from. You know, even
but we don't know if quarterback play from Leonard might improve if he's the starter.
Yeah,
we don't know.
I know.
And if so, we don't know how long he's going to play. Maybe he plays 3 or 4 weeks, and comes back.
Yeah, maybe
Jones comes back.
Yeah, maybe. But we did see 2 quarterbacks come back from torn ACLs recently.
Yeah,
you had Rodgers and Cousins, and both played poorly. But granted, they were older. But
Rodgers didn't play that poorly.
Yeah, it was definitely worse than they expected, and also
the Jets always have unrealistic expectations. Seriously, you look at the talent on there. Rodgers actually had a pretty decent year.
I don't know. It was far worse than what he did prior year.
Well, yeah. Well, the prior year he played 4 snaps.
I know the prior year, meaning the last year
before the injury. Yeah.
Yeah.
That was also with a better team, much better team, the Packers, even with McCarthy.
Yeah. Well, the Jets had Garrett Wilson, right? Yeah. And Breece Hall. That's it. No, I get it, but then again, Rodgers is not relying on his mobility like Jones is, and so that's
well, might Jones be a little bit more tentative coming back from the injury? Yeah, at least initially, if not long term.
Yeah, and also don't forget their top receiver is injured, Alec Pierce, and they lost their number 2 receiver Pittman to free agency. So it's worse receivers now. Yeah. They also lost the right tackle. So
I would tend to think that they're probably going to struggle. If I had to say, are they going to go over or stay under? I'd probably say stay under, but I don't say it with any conviction because I just don't know. We don't know what or when we're going to get out of Jones or the backup, or if there's going to be someone other than Leonard or Richardson in the 2 or 3 position.
Yeah,
based upon what happens in training camp.
Yeah, if I make a play, it'll be a small play. It won't be anything significant. So, all right, let's get to the final team in the division, the Tennessee Titans, who I wrote about a few times in the book so far. Their number is higher than usual. It's 6.5. I have -105 plus. -105, -115 here.
Let me see what I have here. I have the Titans. Yeah, 5.5, 6.5, 7.5, and 6.5 is even on the over, -20 on the under, +75 on the over 7.5, -200 on the under, on the 5.5, +155 on the over, and -55 on the over, +35 on the under. So 6.5 seems to be a good number.
I have a better number on 5.5. Looks like I have the under 5.5 is +154 here.
Yeah,
and we both like them under. You had him at 4.5. I have him at 4.
Okay, yeah. Let me quickly take out their schedule again.
Yeah, it's hard to be optimistic on this team. You know,
And the more I look at these over unders as I get deeper into the summer, I look at the games that they are likely to lose, not the ones that they could win,
sure.
but so I take a look. Okay, um, the Jets, that's a winnable game actually.
Yeah.
Philadelphia probably not. At the Giants, at the Baltimore, no. Houston, no. At Indianapolis,
Mm,
I don't know what I did on that one. That could be a toss-up because we just don't know about Indianapolis.
yeah.
Cleveland is a winnable game, not at Cincinnati. Home to Jacksonville, at Dallas, at Jacksonville, home to Washington, at Detroit, home to Indianapolis, so they play them twice, at Vegas. I don't know if that's a winnable game. I think the Raiders are going to be a pretty decent team by then.
Okay.
Okay, playing at home to Pittsburgh and at Houston. So yeah, I can't really see a lot of wins. So I've ruled out the over on any of these alts. I'm sorry. I've ruled out the I've ruled out the over, but I think 6.5 is a reasonable number. So I can't play the under.
Okay.
Because I do think my comment on Tennessee and the Raiders is very similar to the extent that I think both teams will be improved, but it may not show up in the win-loss records. I could see them being in competitive losses, which would be an indication of improvement considering both seasons last year. So I'm going to put a pass on that one.
They were better at the end of last year for sure.
Yeah.
They covered one game between weeks 1 and 8. Do you remember that when that one was?
The one that you spent 32,000 words on or something?
Yeah, that was the only game that covered.
32,000 or 3,200?
I'm at 32,000 words for the book so far. So,
how heavy is the book going to weigh, or is it going to be in 2 volumes?
Actually, the previous book I wrote is 40,000 words. So,
so you've done 80% of that on one chapter.
No. Sorry. The one chapter is 4,800 words. The total number of words I have right now is 32,000.
Oh, I thought it was
that'd be crazy.
32,000.
2,000 words on one game. Yeah. That'd be insane.
You could do it.
I could. I think probably.
You might lose the readers after like 2,700.
Yeah, we'll just write the.
Oh no, I'm sorry. After 27,000.
Yeah, I could just write about that one game. Yeah, no.
Maybe you ought to do like they used to do when I was growing up, and you'd buy like an encyclopedia. Okay, let's say 26 volumes, one for each letter, and you'd pay every month. You'd pay like $9.95 for the next volume in the series. So maybe your chapters could be long enough that you could sell them by the chapter. So you'll have like 140,000 words, and it'll be in like 10 books, each of 14,000 words.
That'd be great. That would be insane if I did that.
Yeah, but think how much money you could make on that.
Oh yeah, I know.
You might win a Pulitzer.
Right. Well, they wouldn't give it to me. They don't like me.
It's a different they.
It's all the same day, though. Kimmy Gringo says, well, evidently you don't think Ward will improve. Finished season well and now has better weapons, better defensive coach, and Daboll will improve the offense.
Yeah,
I heard bad things about Ward in OTA so far. He's struggled, but it's hard to trust that. I remember Jamar Chase couldn't catch a pass in OTAs and preseason, and then he's now the best receiver in the NFL. So you never know. But I would prefer to read positive things about him, and I have not. I've seen reports that he struggled. So take that for what it is. But
maybe what it means is that instead of showing the great improvement over the last what was the comment? How many games? Finish the season.
He just finished the season.
Well, yeah.
Finished the season well.
Yeah. Maybe the improvement will start earlier this year.
Yeah, maybe.
He may struggle early till things get right, and remember be tweaked a little bit with the new staff and all that.
Well, you're the Jets fan. Do you think Saleh is going to do well for them here?
Yes, because we've seen many coaches, come from poor first years as head coaches. Bill Belichick had, modest success with Cleveland, but that modest success would not have projected him to be an all-time great. I'm not saying
Yeah.
that's Robert Saleh, but let's see what he can do. I mean, I think he's well respected. And, look, we saw what he did again when he went back to the 49ers to run the defense. It's different being a head coach, but he probably learned a lot more about delegating or when to get involved with certain things, or maybe delegate even more to the offense than he did. Have actually no say in the offense.
Yeah. Although on the other end of the spectrum, we've seen Rich Kotite go from horrible to horrible. So there's no
North
guarantee
Turner
in it.
struggled.
Right. Although
Yeah.
Kotite was the all-time worst.
Yeah. Well, I mean, it's true that some it's like the Peter principle. At some point, you reach the maximum of your talent, and there are people who are, because remember, head coaching responsibilities are a lot different than coordinators.
Oh yeah.
And I don't mean just that you're focusing. You're responsible for an entire organization. You're the face of the franchise in press conferences and things like that. Offensive coordinators get talked about on occasion, but they're like the secondary story to seeing a head coach or a quarterback in a press conference.
Right.
It's a different skill set.
Yeah. So I have minor interest here on the under 5.5 for Tennessee plus 154. It won't be
again. Under 5.5. What? How much?
Plus 154. Minor interest. I think
put a question mark there.
They probably win 4 or 5 games. I think. Like they I think you said it best. Like they'll be better this year, but it may not show in the win-loss record.
Yeah.
So maybe in 2027 if they keep improving, but we'll see. Okay. That is 2 divisions in the books. We have
by the way, who was the Titans offensive coordinator last year? Who worked with Cam Ward?
Well, I mean, I don't know if Brian Callahan ran the offense. I assume he did. I don't know if they had the coordinator specifically.
Because I do believe Dable's an upgrade.
Yeah. Is Nick Holtz apparently.
Okay.
But it was really, I mean, Brian Callahan was, they brought him in to coach the offense. So, but like his dad, it didn't work out as head coach. So, okay. So let's go to the AFC East for this next one. And
we'll save the best for last.
Okay. The Bills are 10.5 here, minus 120 plus 100 for the over.
We're doing Buffalo.
Yep.
And what number are you using? 10.5.
I have 10.5 minus 120 plus 100. Yeah, that's the best number for the over.
Let me see what I have here. Bills 10.5. Circus minus 40 on the over, plus 20 on the under.
Okay. So you project them for 12 wins. I am 13.
Yeah, I was actually looking at the 11.5 plus 155.
Okay, I have plus 154 here, so about the same.
I would say on the 10.5. What'd you say your 10.5 is on the over?
Minus 120.
Minus 1. Yeah, it's better than what it is here. Okay, and what's your 11.5?
Plus 154.
Oh, plus 154. And what did I say it was here?
Plus 155.
Plus 155. Mm-hmm. Okay.
Oh, I'll definitely be betting that there. Get the $1.
Yeah, I think this is at least a 12-5, maybe as good as, I was going to say 14-3, but I'd say 13-4.
Yeah. Well, you had you had 12. I had 13. So well, if you think that they're going to go 13-4, do you have any interest in the over 12.5 plus 290?
No.
Okay.
No.
Okay. Yeah, I don't think I will either. They might be so ahead in the division they might sit their starters in week 18.
Or New England could be neck and neck with them also.
Yeah, it's true.
I don't think so, but we'll get to them in a moment. But so what are you going to do on this one?
I think I'll bet a unit, maybe 2 units on plus 154 over 11.5. I think this seems
over
really
11.5.
Yeah.
Plus 154.
Yeah, it seems really good. Yeah.
Let me just go back and see.
Okay, while you look, K-Medic Eagle says Ward had 7 touchdowns in the first 12 games and then 8 touchdowns in the 4 December games. Only had 3 passes in the January game versus the Jaguars. Yeah, no, they definitely he improved for sure. I
Yeah.
agree, but apparently he's struggling in OTAs. So I don't know if how seriously we should take that. You always can take what you
I'd
hear about
rather,
practice with a grain
it'd
of
be more
salt.
meaningful if he's struggling, in training camp.
Sure, you're right. Yeah.
OTAs, you go through the motions.
Oh yeah, he might be trying new things. Yeah,
Yeah.
and
Buffalo's
yeah.
last, let's see, their regular season looks like they were 14-3, 11-6, 13-4, and 12-5.
Mhm.
So I think asking him to win 12 games is not
It's very
asking
doable.
a lot, but I prefer going over at the 10.5 as well, minus 120.
Okay. All right. Yeah, I'll definitely be betting the plus 154. It's a matter of 1 or 2 units
Okay.
for me. So, okay.
I'm sorry. So you're betting you're not the 10.5. You're going to bet the 11.5. It's just a question of how much.
Yeah, 1 or 2 units. Probably 2 units.
Yeah. But you're not going to do the 10.5.
No,
Likely.
No,
Okay.
no. Well, probably not. No.
Okay.
Maybe 1 unit. I don't know.
Okay.
Okay. So we just talked about maybe New England nipping at the heels here. So they're
We're going to do New England next instead of Miami.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, because that's
Okay.
probably the second best team here. So, the over, I have over 10.5 plus 115, under 10.5 minus 140. So this looks like a situation where their win total is really 10, but we don't have that listed.
Well, the numbers I have are 9.5. What's that?
I was saying, let me see FanDuel.
Yeah. Okay. Yeah. This is a circa. Let me get it out here.
Okay. This looks like better. Over 10.5 plus 110, under 10.5 minus 130.
Yeah. Patriots are, see, their middle number is 9.5 minus 130 plus 110. That's the what I call that's probably the number, because when you go to 10.5, well, actually, I guess you could say 10, because 10 would almost be pick 'em, because 10.5 is plus 130 versus minus 130 on the 9.5, plus 130 over, minus 150 on the under, and 8.5 is minus 250 on the over, and plus 215 on the under.
Mm-hmm. Okay. For their win totals, we had 9 and 9. So this is probably a situation where I'm not playing either way. I mean, yeah, we would both have under here, but they have Drake May could be a lot better. Their line could be a lot better. AJ Brown's there.
Schedule could be a lot better.
Yeah, maybe the Vrabel stuff's not a non-factor. Like we don't know. And this team could be really good, or they could drop off. I don't really know. So I don't think I'm gonna bet this one. Are you?
I would lean under the 9.5 at plus 110.
Okay, it's plus 125.
But if I did it, it would be only a half a unit.
Would it increase to plus 125 as here?
No.
Or is it the same play?
No.
Okay.
It's just a chance that I could see the normal kind of regression that you would expect from a team that went from 4 wins and 4 wins to 14 wins, comes back a little bit, and it's already there. I mean, they could go back to 12, and that's a regression.
Right.
But so much of their success last year was due to that schedule, getting teams at the right time and playing a lot of bad teams, during the course of that. I could see 10 and 7.
Yeah.
I don't put anything into Vrabel off the field having any impact on that. I don't think that's going to be a factor.
I would lean to agree with you. I don't know if it's going to affect his game planning and stuff, but I don't know. I mean, who knows? But anyway, I'm not going to factor that in here in my handicapping.
Yeah.
But so I mean, you said it. Yeah, they could regress from 14 to 12 or 11 or even 10, and still goes over. So it's hard to go on.
Well, remember they have the AFC team with the target on their back, being the AFC champions.
Oh yeah, of course.
And they're the Super Bowl loser, which is also not a positive thing. Although, I don't necessarily place a great deal of stock in that, but it's hard to argue with the numbers.
Yeah, I mean it's been a thing for a very long time.
Yeah.
Okay. Then
And even under at 9.5, 9 and 8 could get you the playoffs
yeah, that's true.
as a wild card. Unlikely, although I shouldn't say unlikely when I think about it, because okay, you've got 2.5 teams in the AFC West: the Chargers, the Broncos, and let's throw the Chiefs in there.
Mm-hmm.
I think you only have one team, if you want to say 1.5, with Cincinnati and Baltimore in the North.
Sure.
You got 2 teams in the South, Jacksonville and Houston, and you've got, I'll say, 1 3/4 teams with Buffalo and New England.
Yep.
So 9 and 8 could get you in there as a wild card.
Yeah, that's fair. Okay. Well, a team that's not going to be in the playoffs is the Miami Dolphins.
You're not?
I saw some tweets on Twitter or X today.
Oh, by the way, what did you say you're doing on New England?
I'm not doing anything.
Okay, pass. Okay.
Yeah. I saw some posts on X today, and some people screenshot their roster, the Dolphins' offense roster, and like multiple people said the same thing. They're like, "This looks like."
Let me guess.
Yeah.
How many players on the Miami's offensive roster were good enough to make All-American in college?
Well, the running theme was this team looks like 0-17. That's what people were saying, and it's funny because they screenshot the offense, which I think the offense is better than the defense. So like they're not even looking at the defense. So the 4.5 is the number here. It's +110, -130.
Hold on just a moment here because I want to get it. Okay, yeah, we're also 4.5. But go ahead.
+110, -130. Yeah, that's the number we're going with here.
Okay, let's see. Here we've got 4.5, +15, -35, and then we go, +95 at 5.5 on the over, and -180 on the 3.5 and on the over, and the unders under 3.5 is +55, and under 5.5 is -225, and I just can't play under numbers that low, but I can't see where wins are coming from.
I can't either. The numbers that we
had. What did we have on that for Miami?
You had 3 and I had 2, so
okay.
2.5's in play for me. The under 2.5 is +330. I might just do it for fun. The 3.5 is +150. You said 155, so that would be
3.5 on the Dolphins. Yeah, +155 on the under.
Do you have anything for 2.5?
No.
Okay, yeah, it's 330 here. So. Like
what's your 3.5 under?
155. Sorry, 150. 150.
Oh, okay. And we're 55 here, so a small edge at circa.
Yeah.
None of that interest. I have to pass on that.
Okay, I'll be betting it. Just think they're the worst team. They're trying to lose on purpose. They're trying to get Arch Manning, right? Well,
you're looking to play the under?
Yeah.
Which number?
Everything. I don't know. I think I'll do 2.5 for fun, like a half unit or something, and then I'll do 3.5 for sure.
Okay.
And 4.5, yeah, as well. So, yeah, this team's not going to win games. They're trying to get Arch Manning. At least management is. The players are going to try hard.
Players are going to try hard.
Yeah. Yeah, but they're bad. They're all bad, mostly bad. So.
Yeah, but they get to play some other bad teams too. And it doesn't take wins against other bad teams and one upset. And maybe that's the Jets.
Yeah. Well, they don't have a last place schedule. Remember that they have a third place schedule, so they don't get to battle Tennessee. They get Indianapolis instead. Which well we don't really know how much.
Was Indianapolis the 4th place team?
No, I'm just saying. No, Indianapolis was 3rd last year. So so the Jets.
The Jets were last year.
Right. Yeah. Instead of the Dolphins, the Jets get to take on the Titans, whereas the Dolphins get the Colts, and it gets worse in the AFC West because the Jets get the Raiders, and the Dolphins get to the Chiefs, I guess. Yeah, Chiefs.
Yeah. Well, and again, as bad as Miami is, and we got the quarterback team change. This is a team that going back the last 4 years, won 9, won 10, won 8, and last year 7.
Yeah.
So they weren't a pathetic team. They were just a bad team. Yeah, I would say even over those 4 years, mediocre, slightly to the negative side of mediocre.
Yeah, and AFC North, instead of the Jets get the Browns, the Dolphins get the Bengals. It's a huge difference.
Well, that's different because of the Bengals in there. Yeah.
Sure. But in each of these cases, well, maybe not the Colts, but like the other two, much better than the last place. So I think the Jets have a big edge in the schedule. You wouldn't think it's that dramatic.
Oh yeah, I
but
do.
It is.
I'm just saying that Miami intrinsically is not as bad going back the last 4 years as people think because of where they are right now and their
Right.
low win total.
Right. Yeah.
And again, remember they brought in some sharp people from Green Bay.
Yeah, they did. The sharp people want to get Arch Manning though. Apparently.
Yeah, but the players don't care.
I know.
In other words, they're not drafting players who they think won't perform well.
Yeah, I know.
They're, because the players they're picking are the guys that they expect to have good seasons if they get Arch Manning.
Well, expect them to maybe try out for 2027. I think this year's just a tryout basically for everyone on the team. You know, I don't think they. I think the management.
And we also don't know about Willis.
Yeah, I know.
He might be really good with some of the
yeah.
offensive players that he has.
He could be, yeah. Well, he doesn't have. He only has Achane. He doesn't have anyone else.
Well, that's right now. New quarterback. New quarterbacks make a difference sometimes.
I mean, who's like, they're the two receivers they drafted are injured, so you have to rely on the bums
they have a whole
year.
summer to think about it. These are all we don't know. I'm just saying things that could change. Intrinsically, that the Dolphins have been a better team over the last few years as far as the records go than is probably perceived.
Yeah, well,
because Buffalo's dominated the division, and so there's much negativity about the Patriots prior to the Patriots last year. Because Buffalo's been the dominant team in that division for 7 years.
Yeah, I got it. But when the Dolphins were good recently, they had Tyreek Hill, they had Jalen Ramsey, they had Bradley Chubb, they had.
Yeah, I don't like being selective like that because they'll still have some good players who we haven't yet gotten to know as good players because they haven't had an opportunity.
They had an opportunity last year. They didn't do anything. They're horrible on both sides of the ball.
Well, you don't like the quarterback,
I actually think the quarterback's one of the bright spots.
Last year?
Oh, no, I meant this year.
I meant last year, yeah.
Okay.
Okay. No, so we can I'm passing on the Dolphins anyway, so.
Okay. Well, I'm getting the under with the team that wants to lose. The front office that wants to lose.
The front office wants to lose, but the front office isn't going to tell the guy on the opponent's 20-yard line with the game in the balance to kneel down when they need just a field goal to take the lead.
Yeah, but the front office could be like, "Hey, coach, let's limit Achane this week against this bad opponent."
Yeah, and the NFL would fine them like crazy unless he has a legitimate defensible injury.
Well, they have a history of this. Stephen Ross already tried it.
Yeah,
and,
there you go.
I
don't think he expects to get away with it again.
I think he does. I think this guy's arrogant. I don't know.
I'm just saying that fans want teams to tank. Yeah. I don't think general managers want teams to tank because, especially from the ownership, hey, if we're tanking to win a good player, that means more money out of my pocket when it comes to contract extensions. It's a business.
And it's a new GM, he has some leeway.
Yeah, but it's not that. But it's the same owner.
Yeah, but if the owner's like, I want Arch Manning, you're going to want to lose, right? That's the.
I don't know if he's going to want Arch Manning. I think maybe halfway through the season, yes. But you don't want to lose your fan base by tanking in September. Let me put it that way.
Right, but you'll get them back if you get Arch Manning.
They don't want to play on the if. No, world may end before next season. We want the win now. Fans don't give a damn about next season. Oh, when they give a damn about next season? When they know this season is shot. That's when they give a damn about next season.
I don't. I mean, there's some teams that I don't think that's true with. Like
like who?
The Browns and the Browns perennially, the Dolphins now. These
the Browns,
the Cardinals.
The Browns. It's because of ownership and mismanagement.
Yeah, I get that, but like the fans, I think the fans are smart and they know who's coming out.
The fans are not smart. They are. They're fans for that reason. They do not rationalize. We'll get a better team next year. And you know what? Next year never comes for most of those teams who tank.
I think some of the fans know that they know who's coming out. I know they know who's coming out. Yeah. They know Manning is coming out. They know,
and they also know the number of busts that have come out, especially at quarterbacks over the last 20 years.
Yeah, but how many hits do you have? Like
It's
you have,
probably 50-50.
right. Well, I mean, it's better 50-50 than 0-100.
Yeah,
Like,
but it's more likely that the bad teams are on the wrong side of the 50-50, which is why they're always bad teams. They can't tank successfully, or they can tank successfully, but they can't use that tanking for their benefit.
yeah,
Yeah. It sounds good to believe teams are tanking. Certainly, it's not the players. And in fact,
right.
you go ask a player, he'll probably waylay you one to even bring it up.
Oh, I agree with that. The players definitely not tanking. They're paid mercenaries. They want their next contract.
Yeah.
Well,
not only that, they want to win, because win also means money and prestige. It's a nice honor to say I played for 2 Super Bowl champions as part of my career and made a lot of money after doing it.
Right? Yeah.
So I don't.
Next contract.
I think tanking it sounds good because it generates controversy. It's great for talk radio. That's what it's good for.
Well,
but for the fan base, take a look at how many fans, when a team is 2-13, don't show up for the final 2 home games or whatever it is.
Yeah, but how many jerseys are going to be bought when Manning is on the back of the Dolphins?
You don't know. What if he gets injured in his first training camp?
Well, they're still going to sell the jerseys.
What if he turns? Yeah, can sell them to like they could be put in a package with the 19-0 Patriots.
Well, right. Well, I
jerseys.
mean, they're going to sell the jerseys the day after the draft.
Yeah.
I mean, what if I don't want to wish or mention injury.
No, but I'm saying that I think that
you fall down the stairs the day after the draft. The
NFL is well. I'd like to see a breakdown. Not that I'm all that interested, but I would like to see a breakdown where it exists. Is how do jersey sales do in the first 6 to 8 weeks after a draft, depending upon where you're drafted, and obviously the franchise, but
probably very high. People want to be the first to have that jersey.
Some people do.
Yeah.
Many don't. I'd say the vast majority of fans don't care to spend the outrageous prices. Now, if you're a real fan, and you're in that demographic, probably mid to late teens to mid 30s, yeah, that's probably the thing that you're looking for.
Well, but
if you've been a season ticket holder for 40 years, you don't give a damn about the jersey. You care about the team winning and losing before you die.
Well, yeah, no, I understand that, but if you're someone who buys jerseys, you're probably going to want to get the New Jersey like ASAP.
It depends. Yeah, if you do have a favorite team,
but
it'd be expensive for me because I got a favorite team every week, depending on who I bet on.
That's what I say. Everyone always asks.
Only I don't know that. I don't know that 6 weeks after the draft.
That's true. Well, you might bet a team.
Jerseys are gone because you just bought them all.
Yeah. Well, you might be betting a team to win the Super Bowl. That's why I always say people are like, "Oh, who's your team?" I'm like, "The team I'm betting on." That's my team.
They chuckle and then they do a double take and they realize and they do a chuckle and then they smile because they know what you meant if they know about betting what that means and
No. Well, these days
most
they know
people
more.
do. Yeah.
Yeah. These days.
But I never make a bet based on whether I think a team's tanking or not. Let me put it that way.
Okay. Yeah. Well, I'll make the bet looking at their roster, and the roster is the worst.
Okay, so what's your price on the under 3.5 plus how much?
155. 155. Yeah. Sorry. Yeah. No. Your price is 155. Mine is 150.
No. Oh, under 3.5 is plus 150.
Yeah.
See that? I don't have the numbers with me, but even with the 17 game, especially it's harder with a 17 schedule to win only 3 games.
Right.
How many teams on average over the course of the now it may not matter because even if it's one, you're going to see Miami's that one team because they may very well be the worst team.
Mm-hmm.
Fans of the Browns may argue, fans of the Cardinals may argue. I don't think fans of the Raiders or the Jets would argue, but you may be right. But it's over a 17 game schedule. I mean, look, the Miami Dolphins beat the Buffalo Bills last year.
Yeah.
And it happens. Now you can't expect it right now. All that you can say is, when I look at Miami's schedule, and again, it's tough. What I say, I had them at 3 or 2.
You had them at 3. I had them at 2.
Okay, and it probably included some toss-up games, but I don't have it here. But let me see what I have. Miami at Las Vegas, possible, but I would say probably not. At San Francisco, Kansas, home to Kansas City. At Minnesota, home to Cincinnati. Open date. At the Jets, No, I don't think they'd win on the road. I'll give them the win when they play the rematch. At home to New England, at home to Detroit, at Indianapolis, unlikely but not impossible. At Buffalo, unlikely. At home to the Jets, well, that'll even up for the loss to the Jets at home. So where am I? I think that might be the only one that I give them a win for as opposed to a possible win. At Denver, home to Chicago, at Green Bay, home to the Chargers, home to Buffalo, at New England. Yeah, so I think our 3-2 was probably good based on that, but that doesn't mean there can't be an upset in there somewhere.
Right. Or
and
they could get swept by the Jets. Yeah.
What's that?
Or yeah, but they could get swept by the Jets too.
Yeah.
So
or they could sweep the Jets. But I'm saying that I'm going to say the most likely situation is that they split with the Jets.
Probably, yeah.
And then it's a question of where they can get. I mean, playing under 3.5, it certainly can be justified, but I don't know if you're getting the right price at plus 150.
Yeah, it's not a great number. I'll admit that, but they're the worst team in the league. So I don't know. Maybe I'll just do the 4.5 here. I don't know.
What's the 4.5? What's the 4.5 price?
The 4.5 price is minus 130.
Yeah, see that's I don't like that price either. If you're getting plus 105 on the under 4.5, I'd say yeah.
Mm-hmm.
I wouldn't. I don't know that I would lay a price with a team that, is likely to be bad, but a couple of fluke wins, and then against teams that they're 4 to 6 point underdogs against at home, and there'll be a few of those on the schedule.
Yeah.
But look, you like to play a lot of these, especially with the ladders, which I can understand. But I try to avoid a lot of the extremes. You see, the extremes are for me. There are more teams priced at the lower end of the scale than at the higher end of the scale. In other words, what's the equivalent of a 3.5? It's a 13.5.
Right.
Okay. 3.5 losses equates to, equates to 13.5 wins on the other end. And you don't see any teams at even 12.5, but you see 3.5 and 4.5 and 5.5. Still, I think you don't have that many teams. I think you have one team that's 11.5. I think.
Yeah. Well,
no, the Rams and the I'm showing the Rams and the Ravens at 11.5 and 10.5.
Right. Yeah, it's easier to lose games than win games.
Say that again.
Easier to lose games than win games.
Yeah. Oh yeah, but I'm seeing a lot of teams. Okay, let me do this exercise, and I'll do it with Circa. You can do it if you want with the one that you use. Let me get my camera on for the 32nd time.
Well, as you do that, I want to read this comment. Instead of the NFC South and the AFC North with the Giants, Raiders, and Titans, the Patriots get the NFC North and the AFC West plus Seattle, Jacksonville, Buffalo, much tougher schedule. Yeah. That's for sure. But I think their team will be better this year, so that might cancel out,
Okay.
But we do expect them to regress.
Okay. Sure. Now, there are going to be 14 playoff teams, correct?
Yes.
Okay. Here are the number of teams that are whose middle number on Circa is 9.5 or better. Okay. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17. 17 of the 32 are projected to be in playoff contention, and that's even if they fall under the 9.5 and go 9 and 8. Probably won't make it, but as opposed to the teams that are expected to go say under. Well, let me see how many are expected to go. Well, 15 of them obviously are at 8.5 or less, because that's how you get 32.
Well, that I don't think that includes Carolina, right? Because they're 7.5, but like someone's gonna one of the.
Well, I was going with Circus numbers.
I'm just saying that one of the teams from the NFC South will be in the playoffs, and that doesn't count toward the 17 you said. So it'll be 13.
Well, it is possible that 8 wins could win the division and get the automatic.
Right, but you were saying that teams. There's 17 teams at 9.5, and like none of the NFC South teams are 9.5. But there will be one playoff team from the NFC South, unless they change the rules.
No, well, no, okay. So then but I was still just taking a look at what was expected. So I'm going to say that even the 8.5. Let me see where the NFC South is.
Yeah. Well, the Panthers are 7.5, so they're probably
Panthers are 7.5.
Yeah, I think Tampa's 8.5, if I remember correctly.
Tampa is 8.5.
Yeah, they're the favorites.
Falcons are 7.5.
I think the Saints are 7.5. I think.
And the Saints, I think, are 6.5.
6.5. Yeah.
7.5.
Okay. Yeah. So none of those teams are 9.5. So.
Yeah. Okay. Oh, okay. Then let's say, what did I say? 17 teams at 9.5 or better.
Yeah, and we need 13 playoff teams.
Yeah, that was going to say they're competing for 13 playoff spots.
Yeah. Right.
I mean, could change, but in effect, they're playing. Well, no, it's true. There are 17 teams competing for 13 playoffs. Well, yeah, 13 playoff spots because we're only looking at teams expected to win 9 or more games.
Yeah.
Well, actually, 10 or more games. Well, no, 9 would still get you in there. Yeah. But we don't have any team that is expected to win more than 8 games. Well, the 8.5, the 2 8.5s, or the 1 8.5, which is Tampa Bay.
Mm-hmm.
But we're looking at 9.5. Because if they win, well, I guess 8 and 9, if they win the division, would be a playoff team. But we're talking more realistic than that. Yeah.
Sure. Yeah.
So I'm just saying that it's and I've always believed it's not true anymore, but for a good 20, 25 years, there was always an edge to betting the unders in the season win totals, because go back to the 16-game schedule. Okay. 256 games were played. So you add up all the projected wins. Okay. And they had whole numbers there. Wins and losses, assuming there are no ties, you're going to have 256 wins and 256 losses. Well, there were times when it would add up to 267 wins, 11 more than is possible.
Yeah.
Okay. But even if you consider a half, okay, in order to win an over, 10.5 has to go to 11. So you would have to say, if you played every game over, if every team were to go over its total, they'd have to win 267 games.
Mm-hmm.
Okay. Which meant that if you played all the unders, the teams would end up winning 245 games, the 11 the other way. So there was always an edge in playing the under because there was more built in to the season win totals on the over, and that correlates once again with over unders in betting. Why the over is more popular, because again, the sharps like to play the unders, although they don't do all that much in season win totals, or I think more of them are starting to now because of the alt lines. But most bettors who play totals, casual bettors or non-super professionals, always have great hopes for their teams. So I only have to play over. Where is it here? I only have to play over 9.5 at plus 115 for the Bears to win 10 games. Hell, they won 11 last year, and they're a better team this year. So it's easier to make a case for the overs than it is for the unders. And, overs are failing to go over is impacted more by injuries. Unders are helped by injuries. Because remember, if you let's say in the NFC East, let's say Jalen Hurts goes down for the season.
Mm-hmm.
Okay.
But they have the Irish assassin to come in.
Well, yeah, they do, but they may as well play Jalen Hurts hurt. But
I like McKee, but yeah, I got your point.
I like McKee too, but But the point is, how does that affect the division? Well, there are 6 division games. It affects Philadelphia in all 6.
Right.
It affects Washington, Dallas, and the Giants in 2. Each.
Sure. Yeah.
So, it hurts. Injuries hurt, teams, but it hurts the team affected by the injury more than the opponent that benefits from that injury. Giants are benefited by just 2 of the games that Jalen Hurts is out for. The division as a whole benefits by 6.
Yeah.
So that the problem is that we have a team at 4.5, but we don't have teams at 12.5.
Right.
But we only have, I think, 2 teams at 5.5, which corresponds to 5.5 losses or 11.5 wins, and we only have 2 teams at 11.5. Is that right? Yeah, I think it's the Rams, and I don't know why it's the Ravens at 11.5, but those are the only 11. Yeah, those are the only teams at 11.5, and yet how many at 4.5 and 5.5? What do we have? 4 or 5 teams?
Mm-hmm.
4 teams, I think it is. Let me see here. You got the Browns at 5.5, the Cardinals at 4.5, the Dolphins at 4.5, or 2.5 for you. 5.5 on the Jets, 5.5 on the Raiders. So that's 5 teams at the lower end of the spectrum, as opposed to the 2 that are at the higher end of the spectrum at 11.5, since those are the correlations of each other.
Right.
Now, which is interesting, because what I just said, more fans like to play the over. So maybe those 5.5s maybe do make sense for you to look under on those.
Yeah,
except for the fact that it's the NFL, and we know for certainty there's going to be upsets.
Yeah, that's true. Not many for the Dolphins, but yeah, there might be one.
No, it doesn't take many.
Right. Yeah, exactly. There might be 1 or 2. So
now I have not yet seen, and I don't know if the Westgate will put it out this year because of the partnership with Caesars, which is supposed to take place in I think 3 weeks from today. I think it starts the 29th.
Okay.
But that doesn't affect the contest or anything. But I did see, so I don't know if they're going to put out their 18-week schedule with the lines, because Caesars will be taking over the betting operation of the sports book.
Yeah.
It's going to be called the Westgate Superbook, powered by Caesars Entertainment or Caesars Sports or something like that. So they're going to be running the numbers. The Caesars people are going to be making the lines, etc. However, I did see, I think it was DraftKings, and I found the article today that has already taken a look, and I think it came out within a few weeks of the schedule release, that does have all 18 weeks and what the projected lines are going to be. I don't know. You do things with DraftKings, right? So you may have already known about that or seen it even. But are they taking bets on those games right now? I would think they are. Probably limited.
I would think so.
But they do have the lines out there for all 18 weeks. And because the reason that you might want to take a look at that is based on those lines, and of course they can change.
Mm-hmm.
And maybe you want to take a look to see how often they're updated, because they've been out for a month and a half. They're probably more well adjusted right now for expectations. And it's all going to change, of course, once the season begins and we see the results. But you might want to take a look, for those teams that you're looking to play under, especially those at 6.5 or less. How many games, if any, will those teams be favored?
Well, they have a bunch of games. I don't know if it's every game, but let's see. Let's look at the Dolphins.
Can you do it by schedule, by team?
Yeah, you can just Control F. So they're +3 against the Raiders in week 1.
Yeah.
They're +10.5 against the Niners week 2. Yeah. They are +7 against the Chiefs in week 3.
I just want.
They are +7.5.
I don't know if there's any.
Sorry, what?
No, I just want to know if there are any minuses in there.
Yeah, that's only +7.5 here.
Yeah.
+5.5 against the Bengals. +2.5 at the Jets. And that's all they have. Do they have more? View more. Okay, that's why I stopped. Let me view.
Is that like Seymour?
Yeah,
It's not a first name. View more.
Yeah,
the hell, it could be today. Who knows?
Yeah. All right. Let me. Now let's search the Dolphins' whole schedule. Okay, we have 18. Okay, so we stopped here +2.5, +7, +6.5, +6.5, +11.5, -1.5 against the Jets. Okay, so that's 1
at home. Okay.
Yes. +9.5, +5.5, +10.5, +7, +7.5, +10.5, and that's it. They're favored in one game.
So they're favored in one game.
Mm-hmm.
And their number's 4.5.
Yeah. Just want to see the Cardinals too.
Yeah. What I might also look at is games where the spread is they're getting 2.5 or less.
Yeah. There were 2 of those.
Okay.
The 2 games against the Jets are +2.5 and -1.5.
Yeah, but was there another +2.5 out there or not?
No, I don't think so.
Okay. Yeah.
There's a +3, but that's it. Cardinals, are they favored in any game? They're +1.5 against the Jets at home. +1.5 against the Raiders at home, and that's it. The Cardinals are not favored in any game.
What's the line in Tennessee? What are they +2.5? That's towards the end of the season, I believe.
Tennessee, hold on.
Arizona. when they play at Tennessee. I think it's right before the end of the year.
Yeah. Tennessee. I don't see a Tennessee here.
I think it's Tennessee.
Are you sure?
Maybe it's earlier this year. Hold on, let me get it right here. Arizona.
They play at the Saints. They play home against the Raiders. No,
okay, no, it's not. It's okay. It's not Arizona that I was thinking of. Was it Cleveland? Maybe.
I mean, they are going to play each other this year, so maybe it is the Browns.
Yeah, Cleveland is at
Tennessee.
25th of October.
Yeah, Tennessee's -3 against Cleveland.
Okay, yeah. So, in fact, let's check Cleveland now with the Garrett.
Okay. Let's look at the Browns. All right, +7.5, +6.5, +2.5. So this one 2.5 at home against Carolina. +3, +2.5 at the Jets. So that's 2.
Okay, there's 2 games.
+7,
but they're still not favored. Yeah. Okay.
+7, +3, +6.5, +4.5, +5.5, +5.5, -1.5. They're favored at home against Atlanta, which is the.
Oh, that's surprising.
Okay. Stefanski revenge
bowl. Yeah.
Yeah. +5.5, +2.5. So this is the 4th one at home.
That's the 3rd one, I think, at 2.5.
Yeah, third 2.5, but they were favored too. So
Atlanta, yeah. Keep going.
+7.5, and that's it. So yeah.
Okay, so they're 3. I'll call winnable games if it's under a field goal. So that's 3 of them.
Yeah.
And then another winnable game if they're favored.
Yep.
And they're 1.5.
But it is the Stefanski Bowl, so I think Stefanski's going to win that one, but we'll see. So yeah, it's 3 or 4 wins.
Yeah, and in fact, Stefanski will be coach of the game.
Yeah. Yeah, exactly. So yeah, all 3 of those unders look good to me.
All right, let's get back to the Jets, I think.
Yes, that's the important team.
We've had our little diversion here.
Yeah, the Jets. Their number is 5.5. I have -120 and +100. What do you have?
5.5 for the Jets. Jets Jets. 5.5. Let me see. I need to get the. Where did I put it here?
Oh, we did have a question about Atlanta real fast.
Okay, go ahead.
Because Can't Make an Eagle says I really like the Saints over, and doesn't Atlanta have to be better with the coaching change? Yeah, I would. They have a positive coaching change.
I think we talked about them last week, and I think we both liked the Saints over.
Yeah, but Atlanta. He's asking about Atlanta. Does Atlanta?
No, and Atlanta. I don't remember if he did anything, but yes, they have to be better with the coaching change.
The coaches are better, but they lost some talent too. So
yeah,
we'll see.
But then again, I always think that the new coach comes in with experience, knows how to use the players that the other coaches used poorly. Jets, 5.5. What did you show for the over and under?
-120 and +100.
-20 on the over.
Mm-hmm.
Okay, I have it exactly the opposite. Even on the over, -20 on the under.
Okay.
What did we have for the Jets?
5 and 5.5. So right on the number.
Right on the number.
Yeah, I'm not playing this one. I said it.
Yeah.
I said earlier. I think the Jets have like real talent. Like they brought in, Minka Fitzpatrick, Demario Davis. These are really good players. Devondre Sweat. They had Garrett Wilson, Breece Hall. They have 2 really good tackles, 1 great guard.
We don't know. What about we still have that on this? We don't know about Geno Smith.
Sure. Yeah, that's a legit concern, and that's why they're 5.5. But they have real talent, and I think they could be competitive in a lot of games.
Can it all gel at the same time?
You're right. Yeah,
and
I'm not a fan of the coach either.
Who's the offensive? Who did they bring in as offensive coordinator?
Who was it? It's Frank Reich.
Oh, Frank Reich. Yeah, and I like that. I like that a lot. Yeah.
Yeah.
So that Aaron, the head coach, does not have to worry about the offense. Aaron Glenn.
Yeah. Well, Glenn has.
Who's the defensive coordinator?
I assume Brian Duker, the Dookie, if you want to call him.
Okay.
I don't know.
Yeah.
It's gonna be Glenn. It's Glenn, and he's so if anything, I would go over, but I'm not looking to play this.
Yeah, I'm passing on that one also. Well, we both had 5 and 5.5, so that number is right, and the odds makers made it right because it's close to pick 'em each way. It's the closest of the half totals because they don't use whole numbers anymore. But but the half totals, it's the closest to pick 'em.
It's so weird that they don't use
UI and the lines makers. Yeah.
Yeah, it's so weird they don't use whole numbers anymore. It's it wasn't too long ago.
No, I think it's only well, I think it's only a couple of books, and maybe I don't know about the offshore ones because I'm here in Vegas, and I don't really get a chance to pay attention to them because we can't bet them. I mean, we can through others, but not ourselves. But yeah, they did have it, and that's when they would have a lot of the VIG also. I think that this way, that's why you say, I think they used to say what each half win is worth like 50 or 40 cents or something like that. Yeah. And that's so double that. And I guess the 80 cents that I talked about before makes sense. Going from 7.5 to 8.5 or 7.5 to 6.5.
Yep.
Roughly 80 cents to $1, depending upon the number and the team involved and the closeness of the middle number, which let's call it the common number or frequent number, how close that is to pick 'em.
Yeah.
No, I used to like it when they would adjust, the VIG, or set a number that was close to pick 'em, minus 110 each way, and then go from there. When they would move it by half a game, as opposed to the alternate lines here, where they move it by a full game.
Yeah, I think the online sportsbook started that, and because the casuals don't like pushes, and I've
noticed that this year when I started following a lot of lines at just for observational purposes at like DraftKings and FanDuel. I noticed in the NBA there are no half points on sides or totals. They want a decision on every game.
Yeah,
which makes sense.
Yeah. No, that's true. Yeah, people don't like pushes. So
yeah.
Okay, let's get to you said let's save the best for last. The AFC West. Do you want to start with specific team here?
Either team you want, any team you want.
Let's start with our favorite Broncos. The over and 9.5 is minus 110, and the under 9.5 is also minus 110.
Okay, so 9.5. And it's minus 110 each way. I have the Broncos 9.5, over minus 20, under even money.
Okay, so pretty close.
Okay, what did we come up with on Denver?
Pretty much on the number. You said 10, and I said 9.5.
Okay, yeah, and at 9.5, I can't play it either way.
Yeah, I if anything, I'd play it.
By the way, did you read the story about Sean Payton? Giving Bill Belichick a couple of games to help him get the over record.
Yeah, that's crazy.
And if Peyton was smart, he would have had him coach the first 2 games.
That's true. Right? I wonder if he knows how bad he is in the first 2 weeks, or is he like oblivious to it? I don't know.
If he ever spends time in a sports book, he will.
Yeah, it's true. If he reads our website,
he'll get a lot of thank yous.
Yeah. I would thank him.
Yeah. I would think. See, I can't make a case for 10.5. I like this Broncos defense. I'm concerned a little bit about the offense, but at 9.5, that number is priced well because I don't want to go over 10.5 at plus 150 because that means 11-6. And again, I think Denver caught a lot of people by surprise last year. Yep. Although, again, to be fair. I believe they were they made the playoffs the year before, but I don't remember if they were 9-8 or 10-7. Let me go back.
They were the 7th seed, and they lost to Buff. They got blown out by Buffalo.
They were 10-8, so they were 10-7 in making the playoffs. So 10-7, and then 14-3.
Right.
Well, actually, they were 14-1 because they started 0-2. Or did Denver just not cover those games?
No, they beat Tennessee by 8.
That's right. Yeah.
And then they lost to Indianapolis.
Okay. Yeah. The game they should have won on that repeat field goal. Yeah. Yep. Yeah. No, I think Denver. I think Denver is positioned to go at least 10-7 than they are 9-8.
Okay.
But I don't feel comfortable enough because once again we have an unknown in this division, and it's Kansas City. Did Denver win twice last year against the Chiefs?
Yeah, they did.
Okay. Yeah. So, But and even if they lose twice to Kansas City this year, and that's the only change, they're still 12-5 instead of 14-3.
Yeah, and keep in mind one of the losses was without Mahomes, is
Yeah.
Aludicon.
Yeah.
So.
What do we say the plus was? It's close to even money.
Yeah,
I have it at
plus.
minus 130, and you have it at even money, right? Over.
The over 9.5. I have minus 110.
Oh, okay. I thought. Oh, okay. You had minus 110 each way. Okay.
Yes. Mm-hmm.
Yeah, and I have minus 20 and even. I said it the other way around. Okay.
Okay.
From what I had, it's basically pick 'em. I suppose. What did I have them at? Did you say 9 or
you
10?
Had you had 10. I had 9.5.
Okay. I will lean to the over 9.5.
Okay.
Okay, because I think the defense was good enough. I think Bo Nix can be tutored by Sean Payton, and I'll go with the even money here.
I would lean under, if anything, but I'm not looking to play this one.
Okay,
so
you just want to pass, not a lean.
Yeah.
Okay.
I'm not touching.
Okay. Now we go to.
And I will change my mind if we hear negative things about Bo Nix with his ankle.
Okay.
I don't think
you'd lean under.
Yeah, but
not
looking to play this one.
Not committing it to a play, or not even considering it as a play right now.
Yeah. The second place team in the division was the Chargers last year, and they are. Looks like their national number is 10 on DraftKings, because the over 9.5 is minus 140, and the under is under 9.5 is plus 115.
Okay, say that again. Now the over what now?
Minus 140 and plus
on what wins?
9.5.
9.5. It's minus 40, and 10.5. It's what?
Plus 115.
Okay.
Let's see if this is any better. Oh,
yeah,
actually, I have a better.
Sorry. Go ahead.
I have a better number here in FanDuel, minus 135 and plus 115 here.
Yeah, when you say a better number, what I'm looking for is for the team over and under. Where's the least difference in the VIG between the over and the under?
Here on FanDuel, minus 135 plus 115.
Right. No, but I'm saying, because I know, like, for some of the things when we were doing the over unders previously, you were saying, well, you can get the best over number here and the best under number there.
Oh yeah,
some other place.
Yeah, but here it's the best over number, and the under number is the same. So instead of minus 1, it's the over number is better, and the under number is the same. So
okay, so that's the best.
Yeah.
Of the combination over under.
Yes.
Yeah. So you said okay. I've got Chargers. I've got a 35-cent spread, a 20-cent spread, and a 20-cent spread. But the closest to the pick'em is the 9.5, where it's minus 35 on the over, plus 15 on the under.
That's exactly
and it's plus 30 on the over at 10.5 and minus 50. So 9.5 is the number we can use. And I love the Chargers every year. So once again, what do we say the over is? 9.5.
9.5. You predicted 12 wins. I have 13. So
yeah,
we
so 9.5. I said is minus
135.
I said minus 135.
Mm-hmm.
And let's see, at 10.5, it's plus 130.
That's exactly what I have.
Which makes it tough to play. Well, I don't have an 11.5 here, but it makes it tough to play. But it means to make money on this, I either have to vary the amount of the units, because if I go 1-1, I lose $5.
I have an over 11.5. I have plus 240. In fact, I have an over 12.5 and at plus 450.
Yeah, I don't.
If I have 13 wins, if I have 13 wins,
I'm going to put these both down as leans. I won't even put it down as half units.
Okay, I like the over 11.5 plus 240. I think it looks interesting.
Okay, let me say over 11. And this is Chargers.
Yeah.
Over 11.5 at what plus?
240.
240.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Problem is, again, we don't know about Kansas City. but because I can see the Chargers splitting with Kansas City this year.
Yeah.
Yeah. I would have preferred. Well, you know what? Maybe I will use your numbers and so they've won 11 games each of the 2 years. So you know what I'm going to do? I'm going to cross out the over 9.5 lean. I'm going to go over the 10.5. Over the 10.5 and over the 11.5. You said was what, plus 240?
Yeah.
Yeah. Yeah. That might be a half unit. I'm not sure on that.
Okay.
But I'm going to ask them to basically do what they did the last 2 years under Harbaugh. And again, they shouldn't have, let's hope, the injury issues with the offensive line. So if they could win 11 games doing that last year, they should be able to win 12 or 13 this year. You know,
Yeah,
given
even if they only lose one of their tackles, that's better than last year. You know?
No, that's what I'm saying. That even if as long as they don't have the cluster injuries to the extent that they had last year.
Yeah, it was insane what they had last year.
Yeah,
and they still made. It was insane what they had last year.
And they still made the playoffs with 11 wins.
Exactly. Yeah.
Yeah, I think it was 11 wins. I think I checked on that earlier. I'll just do it again since I now have the playbook, so it's a lot easier to go. 11-7, so they were obviously 11-6 before losing that 7th game in the playoffs. Probably should have counted 2 losses, but meaning they don't get to play a playoff game this year unless unless it's a home game.
Right.
Okay, so I'm going to go over the 10.5 as a regular play and a half play on the 11.5, and you're just going to go over the 11.5 at plus 240.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, and I think over 12.5 is worth a look.
What is the 12.5? 420 you said or something?
450.
450, yeah.
Yeah, maybe half unit, maybe. Because I project them for 13, you know, so it's if it's 50,
but remember that had some toss-ups in there. We're gonna get rid of those toss-ups maybe beginning in a couple of weeks.
Yeah, that's true.
Go through it again.
I posted my season preview on the Chargers. I had them at 12-5, so about the same number. I need one win more, and I'm getting 4.5 to 1. It's not bad. Not bad.
So see, when I'm looking over teams, I think I mentioned earlier, I look at losses. I'm looking to play teams over. When I'm looking under, I'm trying to look at wins.
Yeah, makes sense. Kind of wonder where
how much of a difference there is.
Wonder how many times they're underdogs.
By the way, do you have a lower light tonight?
No.
It looks like there's a little darker for you tonight.
Same lights, maybe my kids move the light. I have a front facing light, and
I was gonna say maybe there's like a bulb that's not facing you or something. There you go. No, there's a little bit more. There you did. What'd you just do?
Oh, is it darker now?
There's dark. Yeah.
Okay, I was looking at the DraftKings screen. That's the
white. Okay, the white was coming on your face.
Yeah.
As opposed to the black right now, where you've got the divisions there. Okay.
Yeah.
All right.
That's
so
funny.
Denver do Vegas or Chargers? You want to do? Vegas or KC? You want to do KC? They finished third.
Yeah, let's save your Raiders for last, and
the Raiders.
We'll do love Chris Berman. The Chiefs 10.5 plus 115 minus 140 here.
Okay, was that? No, I'm sorry, 10.5
plus 115 minus 140.
Okay, I have 10.5. Wow, plus 35. Yeah, plus 35 minus 55.
Wow.
I'll play the over at here in Vegas.
Over 10.5.
Plus 135. Yeah. Remember, last year was the first year in probably 7 or 8 years that I did not play Andy Reid over his total.
I know. I was surprised when he told me.
Yeah. This year, I think all things being the same, I know you probably disagree. You're probably looking under. I'll tell you what.
I'm not going to go under. No, I'm not going to fade Mahomes and Reid off a bad year. I'm not going to do that. Even though I have projected wins here, I have 9. You have 11.
Well, the 9.5 here is over minus 25. Under is plus 105.
Okay.
So if you wanted to do something at least and get a plus price on a 9-8 record, what were they, 6-11 last year?
Sounds about right. Yeah,
Let
I
me
think
see.
so. Maybe 5-12, or 6-11.
No, I
But
don't
six
think they
and
were
11 sounds
five.
right.
Let me
6-11
see.
sounds right because they had the ninth pick. So
6-11, yeah.
yeah.
That's
Okay.
after years of including playoffs, 17-3, 15-6, 17-3, and then, as they say in fancy British language, they hit the crapper.
They had the Kelsey wedding. I don't know how that's going to impact them.
That's plenty enough time.
For what, divorce?
Maybe Taylor Swift will be the long snapper.
Well, it's good that Kelsey signed his prenup. He can protect his
Yeah.
money. The totals that we, like I said, 11 and 9. But I'm not looking to play under. I like I said,
Okay.
I don't want to fade Mahomes and Reed off a down year. I think they'll be motivated.
So you're going to take a pass, or
I will. Yeah, I'm certainly passing this game.
Okay.
This team, rather. Yeah, we now have come to the final team.
All right.
The Las
of the
Vegas
32.
Raiders. Yeah. It looks like their natural number is 6.
Okay.
Let me see here. Maybe better number on FanDuel, perhaps. It's minus 35. Okay, yeah, FanDuel will be better here. FanDuel, we have over 5.5 minus 135, under 5.5 plus 115. So
20-cent line. Okay.
Yeah, 35.
I have, that's probably the closer number, but I agree with you. It's probably 6 because 5.5 is over minus 40, under plus 20 versus plus 30 on the 6.5 over, minus 50 on the under. So 6 is probably the right number, but we can go with the 5.5.
Yeah, and our projected wins for them was 3-3.
Yeah.
But I think that was a lot of toss-ups, and their schedule is not.
I don't know
easy.
if there were that many toss-ups because I looked at their schedule because I was doing a show earlier today, and I'll tell you what I was looking at on today. I don't remember. I don't have it in front of me what we did, but I was looking at the Raiders, and again, because I don't know that I'm looking to play either way on that, but I'm not as optimistic as the host of the show because it's out here and he's supports the Raiders. I'm not as optimistic. Because I looked at their schedule. Miami, okay, at home. I say that's.
We'll look at we could look at the lines here. So.
Well, no, I'm going to just tell you what I did this afternoon.
Okay.
Then you can then we can do the line. Okay.
Well, I'll put it on the screen as you go. Okay. So.
Okay. Well, I'm going to go quickly because there's a sequence of games. I'll show you what I mean.
Okay. All right.
Miami at home. I'll give them a win.
Sure.
Then here are their next 7 or 8 games, or maybe 9 games. At the Chargers, at the Saints, home to Kansas City, at the Patriots, home to Buffalo, home to the Rams, at the Jets. I'll put a question mark there. At San Francisco, home to Seattle, at Denver. That's weeks 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11. 10, 11. No buys yet.
Yeah.
The only I have them as a win against Miami and a possible at the Jets, but more likely a loss. But I'm going to just put it in there as a toss-up right now. Then they're at Cleveland, which is the same thing as at the Jets. So I'm going to say they will beat either the Jets or the Browns on the road. Okay, one of them. I don't think they win both. I don't think they lose both. Then they finally get an open date. Then they host the Chargers, host Denver, host Tennessee, at Arizona. And there again, it might be, and then at Kansas City. So I'm going to let you do the favorites or 2.5, but I'm looking at the Raiders' best possibility if I consider those toss-ups wins. Miami, no, I'm going to give Miami a win. Okay, the Jets, the Browns.
Wait, you're going to give the Raiders a win over Miami, or Miami a win over the Raiders?
I'm going to give. It's at the Raiders. I'm going to give the Raiders a win.
Okay.
Yeah, so I'm going to give the Raiders a win, but the toss-ups are at the Jets, at Cleveland, home to Tennessee, and at Arizona. So basically, if they win all those 4 other games, I'm looking at most 5 wins possible, unless they pull an upset against a playoff caliber team. Because really, you take a look at Chargers playoffs, Saints, we don't know. Kansas City, a playoff caliber team. New England playoffs, Buffalo playoffs, Rams playoffs, San Francisco playoffs, Seattle playoffs, Denver playoffs, Chargers playoffs, Denver playoffs, Kansas City playoff caliber.
Yeah, it's a very tough schedule.
There are very few mediocre teams, 7 and 8 win teams on that schedule.
Yeah, it's a tough one.
Because Kansas City, as we can see from their projected, is not a 6 and 11 team.
Exactly.
More like 11 and 6.
Yeah, something.
And they didn't make the playoffs last year, and the other teams all did, except New Orleans.
Right. They're
okay. Let's take a look at the game by game that you wanted to do.
Well, they're favorite in 3 games. They're favorite against the Dolphins, the Titans, and the Cardinals. Yeah.
And the Cardinals is a road game in Week 17.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. And what did we both come up with? 3?
3.
Yeah. But the Raiders, as I said before when we talked about Tennessee, I think the Raiders will be a much improved team, meaning they'll be relatively competitive. I think the Raiders, much like Tennessee, I think will be teams that we can make money betting as underdogs this year.
I think that's true.
Especially as the season progresses. And the record looks bad, but the competitiveness looks good.
Yeah. They'll lose like a bunch of 3 and 7 point games, but they'll cover the spread. Yeah. Yeah, I agree with that. So
I've got to pass on the Raiders.
The under 4.5 is plus 215. I don't think I can play that. They're not that bad. They're I would say slightly below average at this point, but their schedule is ridiculous.
Well, number one, they're going from the worst offensive line in NFL history to just it's going to be better just with the addition of the center. It's got to be.
Yeah, he's great player.
And
Miller's back.
Right? Yeah, he's back. Yeah. So, which means that they will have Bowers, a nice target.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not crazy about the receivers. I don't know about you.
No.
But Genty should be able to get some holes finally. Instead of bouncing off the offensive lineman, he can run past the offensive lineman.
Right.
Mendoza, we don't know, but he should have a better running game than the Raiders had last year, and we'll see how things look in training camp as far as how quickly he grasps the offense. And I know they like Kubiak very much. Who'd they name offensive coordinator there? Here, I should say.
Here, the Raiders offensive coordinator is Andrew Janko.
Oh,
I never heard of him. So
nor have I.
But it's Kubiak's gonna be running the offense.
Yeah.
So,
yeah. Unless Janko came over from Kubiak's staff in Seattle as a position coach.
Right. Yeah. But so it's a better offense for sure.
See, the Cardinals would take a quarterback's coach and make him like a running back's coach. Come over from a different organization.
I know. Well, in fairness, Andy Reid did that. Remember Juan Castillo is the offensive line coach who made him the defensive coordinator for no reason. Made no sense.
Well, that's why that's why Spagnola's there.
Yeah, it just goes to show that even the best coaches make a mistake sometimes.
They tinker too much for their own good.
Yeah. Brandon says I'll probably be going to Texans versus Raiders joint practice and preseason game. Nice. That'd be fun.
You may learn a lot more in the practice than you will in the preseason game.
Well, we might see Mendoza a lot in that preseason game, so that should be good.
Yeah, but you'll see one of the games. I don't know, is that game 1, 2, or 3 for the Raiders?
I'm not sure, but if he's not going to be the starter, then he'll play. Because Kubiak.
It's just a question of when.
Yeah.
I could make a case if he's not the starter, he plays in game 2.
Yeah, it's different though. It's some teams play their starters week 1 and then bench 2 and 3, or some play their starters week 2. Some play week 3. Like it's so random.
Let me get to the schedule here.
Yeah, and some coaches don't play the starters at all. But Kubiak said he doesn't want to start his rookie quarterbacks.
He's made that. But if he wows them, he might. But he's not. The plan is to not. Okay. Yeah. The Raiders. Let's see. Preseason schedule. Home to the Cardinals, at the Texans in week 2. Home to the 49ers. Oh, I may end up going to that.
Yeah.
Oh, yeah. Okay. I may go to that 49ers game. A friend of mine has season tickets and usually goes to the preseason games with his son, his wife, and his buddy doesn't go. I am going to the home game against the Chiefs on October 4th.
You mentioned that. It should be cool.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Hopefully they're
Brandon
1-2 at the time.
Brandon says see Genty behind Linderbaum. Yeah, that'll be a
Yeah.
big improvement. I like
Yeah.
Genty in fantasy this year. Talked about that yesterday.
Yeah.
So yeah, I
Only
think
thing you might wish they had, although Bowers compensates for a lot of shortcomings, but they're still shortcomings. Who's their best receiver right now?
it's either Trey Tucker or Jalen Naylor, unless Jack Bash makes a big leap, which
Yeah.
I don't see happening.
Yeah.
It's mind-boggling that they didn't upgrade receiver this
Yeah.
offseason. That's very strange.
Either free agency or
yeah.
hey, well, look, they might want to take a chance on Ayuk.
Maybe. I think the
you heard about his thing with Daniels.
Yeah. I heard. Yeah. I
If
wonder.
if I were Daniels, I would go to him and say, "You shut the fuck up. You're not the most important person on this team. I'm not the most important person on this team. We're gonna we all answer to our head coach."
Well, he's not even on the team yet.
No,
so.
but I mean, the talk was that he was, and now I think Washington would be making a mistake because Washington has decent talent without Ayuk. Ayuk, he was a problem in San Francisco.
Yeah.
Why wouldn't it be a problem in Washington?
Yeah, they could sign another number 2 receiver. They can go after Diggs or Tyreek Hill, or they bring back Debo. You know, they're
Yeah, Debo I think would be a good option actually.
Yeah, Stephon Diggs, the Raider.
Yeah.
Maybe makes sense.
I like the Raiders, but you're right. It's like we talked about earlier about Tennessee. They will be a much better team, but not through the records necessarily. I don't think so.
Yeah.
At least I don't feel confident enough to bet over the 5.5 or the 6.5 or even the 4.5 at the VIG. But I could certainly see them a much improved team. And as I said, maybe the way to approach both Tennessee and the Raiders is through the point spread during the season.
Yeah.
Although again, the sequencing of some of these games, I mean, I read the Raiders schedule to you. Beginning with week 2 after the Miami game. Those things, even if it's improved, those sequence of games against those teams is going to take a lot out of you, and you only have a week to prepare because you don't have your break until like 14 or 15 or whatever it was.
Yeah, it's brutal. Brandon Stum, I thought they're here. I was going to say this. Yeah, if things don't work out, Jeremiah Smith. Well, yeah, maybe that's the plan. Is that they didn't draft a receiver because they're going to go after Jeremiah Smith. So that would be nice. Mendoza.
I'm sure there will be some good receivers that will be cut from some teams that have depth at the position.
That's true. Yeah, of course. Yeah, you see it happen all the time.
Yeah.
Okay, well that's every team that we've got. It's every team, and we have some big plays. I think some nice.
By the way, what was AJ Brown's contribution last year to the Eagles? Did he have a really good season? I don't have the numbers in front of me.
I'll pull it up. He had a valley year.
A what year?
A valley. So he had this lowest yardage since 2021. In fact, his second worst year ever.
What was his yardage and how many catches?
78 catches, 1,003 yards, and 7 touchdowns. So I love him this year to bounce back with the Patriots. He'll be motivated.
I was hoping he had a better year with the Eagles because I was going to say that's another reason why I am somewhat bearish on the Eagles.
Okay.
I mean, you lose. Look, anytime you lose 1,000-yard receiver, that's got to be felt.
I think
I don't think the rookie can come in and do it.
I think it might. Well, I wouldn't count on him. I think it might be addition by subtraction because he dropped a lot of passes late in the year. He dropped 3 passes against the Niners in the playoffs. Like he really.
Yeah, but he still contributed a lot on the ones that he did catch.
Yeah, but in the playoff game,
how many 1,000-yard receivers were there last year, roughly? Would you guess?
I'd guess
15, 30.
15 was the number that popped in my head. Let's see. Okay. We will look it up right now because we have the internet. Receiving, how many 1,000-yard receivers?
Okay, Google. In the 2025 NFL regular season,
right here,
how many players had more than 1,000 yards in receiving?
8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18, 19, 20. 20. In
the 2025 NFL regular season, exactly 20 players surpassed the 1,000-yard receiving mark, led by Jackson Smith and Jigba with 1,793 yards.
Yeah.
Okay, Google. In giving that answer, were you listening to Walter on the computer?
That's how they found out.
No, I am not listening to anyone or accessing any audio or computer screens. I am generating that number based strictly on the official NFL statistical data for the 2025 season.
Okay, Google. Well, bully for you, and thank you.
You're very welcome. If you need any more stats or trivia, just say the word.
Okay. I love communicating with this. I don't, all the problems I have, but it's still a lot of fun to see how they respond to some of those. Things that occur.
It got it right. So yeah, 20. Weird to see something like Wandale Robinson was here. Michael Wilson was here. Like some weird names. AJ.
So what we say 20. So that's 2/3 of all teams. Well,
Yeah.
roughly 2 for every 3 teams.
Mm-hmm. Well,
So
the
that's why I'm
Eagles
saying
had
that
the Eagles had 2 of them.
And they were Brown and
Devontae Smith, who actually had
Devontae Smith,
five more yards than Brown.
Oh, so Brown was actually the more productive of the 2.
Smith was. Yeah, Smith was.
Smith was rather, but relative to Brown's previous years, it was a down year, but that's still a good year if you're one of 20.
Yeah, but like I said, 3 drops against the Niners in the playoff game, 2 on the final drive. Like he really hurt the team.
That's one game. But that's one game.
Yeah, but he and Hurts did not get along.
Well, that's different. Okay, that's different. But what is his drop or I don't know if they have a drop percentage because it's tough sometimes to define what a catchable ball is.
Yeah, I don't know if you're going to find reliable numbers on that, but I think it could be addition by subtraction. Like Devontae Smith can be a number 1 receiver, and I think Dallas Goedert's going to have a big year.
Yeah,
Hurts is still going to run.
Did I hear Goddard is he nursing an injury or something?
No, he's fine.
I heard something about that.
I haven't heard anything. I think Goddard's going to have a monster year.
What's that?
I think Goddard's going to have a monster year.
Now, the only thing is, how much will the offense use the passing game relative to relative to either short passes or the running game?
No, yeah, I mean they still have Barkley and everything, so I think the Eagles will be good.
How many? And I don't have the numbers in front of me, but you might be able to call them up. How many fewer rushing attempts did Barkley have last year than the year before?
Let's see here. Saquon Barkley stats. He had 65 fewer rushes last year.
And what were the numbers? The 2 years?
345 and 280.
I'm guessing the 345 was a career high.
Yes, he never had 300 otherwise.
Yeah, with the Giants or the Eagles, yeah.
Yeah, 295.
So he's probably closer, or could be expected to be closer to his 2024 form, because he wasn't used as much in 2025.
Yep.
And he's a year older, of course, but I think also it enables the Eagles to do more offensively, because again, I think last year, obviously part of it may have been Hurts, but also part of it, I think, was the departure of Kellen Moore.
Something I saw a dubious stat on Barkley. He was, I believe, out of 68 qualifiers for number of carries. He was 65th out of 68 in yards after contact. So he wasn't really
65th out of 68th Barkley last year.
Yeah, last year. Yeah. In yards after contact. So he wasn't really breaking any tackles.
Now that's just rushing.
Yeah.
Yeah, not after contact catching.
Right. Yeah.
Okay.
So I don't know how much of a concern that is. Maybe it's exhausted.
Well, again, how much was related to the offensive line for not opening holes soon enough?
Yeah, but it's still yards after, so that means he just wasn't breaking tackles.
Yeah,
you know what I mean.
It also means that the defensive players were able to close in on the line because the line didn't open the holes quick enough.
Right. Yeah.
When the secondary and the linebackers recognize the running play.
Mm-hmm.
So
yeah,
and part of that may also been because I don't know if Hurts passed more last year attempts than the year before. To give away that it's a run rather than a pass.
No, it doesn't show. Let's see here. Jalen Hurts pass attempts in 2024 was 361. Last year was 454. So
whoa.
Yeah, 90 more, 93
Whoa,
more
yeah.
pass. Yeah, but keep in mind he missed one more game in
That's
2024.
that's not going to explain the difference there. That's a
Sure,
huge
right.
increase.
Yeah,
And
yeah.
again, change in philosophy.
Yeah, exactly.
And I think a lot of people did not like the offensive philosophy last year of the Eagles.
Oh, definitely not. I mean, the coordinator got his house egged.
Yeah.
So
Yeah.
people were not fans of it. So
Yeah. So I would expect perhaps a better year out of Barkley, but I still think it's an aging team.
Mhm.
I don't know if the window is closed, but look, they showed signs. They won the Super Bowl last year, or 2 years ago. Last year they couldn't win a playoff game at home. Now obviously it's just one game and one comparison, but
Mhm.
sometimes that's how teams show their decline. They reach the apex and they don't go quite as far the year after. They don't quite as far the year after that. It's much like making it and winning a Super Bowl. You go to a conference, you win a divisional game. The next year you go to a conference championship game. Next year you go to the Super Bowl. Maybe you lose it, and then maybe you win it the next year.
Mhm.
That used to be the cycle in the NBA, in the
Yeah.
conferences, certainly the Eastern Conference. And I remember mostly, I think the Pistons exhibited that, and the Bulls exhibited that back in the late '80s, early '90s, where you paid your dues one season to the next. In fact, even the Knicks. Well, they went a little bit differently, but I think they won a series 2 years ago. They lost to the Pacers, I think, in the conference finals last year, and they made it to the finals this year and happened to win it.
Mhm.
So that's they missed a step, which is good for them because they won it a year earlier than perhaps they might have. Okay.
Right.
Because no, I'm sorry, they actually missed. No, that's right. They lost in the conference finals to Indianapolis. Indiana. So this is the year that they should have won the conference finals, which they did, and then fall short. But they didn't fall short.
Yeah. Well, the Spurs had those choke jobs, so
yeah,
they did get outscored.
Yeah, but
in the first
let's also give credit to the Knicks and the defense.
Oh yeah, I know. But it wasn't like they didn't force Wemby to throw the ball at Castle's back.
No, but look, but keep in mind, by that point, the whole Spurs team was shocked at the leads that they were blowing.
That was game 2, so it wasn't.
Wasn't that the one that they had the big lead early?
I think that was like most of the games.
No, that was. They still had a double-digit lead in the fourth quarter.
Yeah, they blew many leads.
They had that in every game. Yeah.
They blew many leads, and I bet them. I bet the Knicks live every time.
Oh, so. Yeah. So I think that maybe in the NFL we'll see something like that this year with some of these surprise teams. But yeah, like the Patriots and the Seahawks are going to be the two teams that everyone's looking to beat within their conference.
Mm-hmm. Absolutely.
You always look to beat the best team in your division each year, but that's only 3 opponents.
Right.
You're talking about it's New England is I won't say the best team on everyone's schedule, because the fact that you won the conference does not mean you were necessarily the best team. You just performed best in the playoffs. I mean, they're still a really good team, New England, but they're now the team that everyone's going to be measured up against as far as defending champions. And same thing with the Seahawks in the NFC. But that doesn't mean that both teams can't make the playoffs or win their division titles or be number one seeds.
Yeah, I mean, look, the Patriots, no one had them on the radar last year, especially if they lost after they lost to the Raiders in week 1.
Yeah. Keep in mind, remember, 4 wins 2 years ago, 2 years earlier, 4 wins the year before, 8.5 last year. So the improvement, which is you improved by 4 games. Even if you were to improve, let's say 9, let's say they went for over 8.5 and they hit 9, you improve by 5 games in a season. That is outstanding.
Mm-hmm.
For them to improve 10 games, you'll never see that again, you would think.
Yeah, no, that's certainly true.
Especially Miami, unless they go 17-0.
Right.
So they won 7 last year.
Yeah. So, like I said, imagine going back to week 1 last year, right after week 1, and saying, what's going to happen. The Patriots Andy's off. So so much for that. I assume he'll be off, be back on in 1 second here. And then I could tell him this witty thing. And then we'll probably sign off after that, because we're too. There we go.
The Patriots.
Sorry. Oops. Wait, there we go.
You saying the Patriots after week 1? Yeah.
No, I said, imagine. He's off again. There we go. What's going on here? And I said, imagine going back in time to like right after week 1 and telling someone, who's going to be in the Super Bowl? It's going to be the team that lost to the Raiders at home, and it's going to be the team that lost to the 49ers when George Kittle got hurt. Those are the two teams that are going to be in the Super Bowl.
Yeah, you could have believed it more about the 49ers, though, because you didn't know all the injuries that they were going to have.
Yeah.
But they still were a pedigree team. Remember, 2024 was the outlier season for them.
Yeah, no, I'm just saying that, like,
but as far as
after week 1,
after week 1, although the Raiders had shown the year before they beat Baltimore in week 2 on the road.
Yeah, I know. But
and
still,
where did you get? What would they have? 4 wins that year?
Something like that. Yeah.
Let me see.
Let me look it up.
Yeah. Raiders had 4-13.
Mm-hmm.
And they said that record's too good for us. Let's get our win out early and finish 3-14 in 2025, and they did.
Yeah.
Well, look, hey, I think that they have the talent and the improvement in the coaching and all that to equal, 4 wins plus 3 equals 7. They have the talent to do it. I just don't think they can, or will rather.
Right.
They can.
Yeah.
I don't think they will, especially because of not only that horrible schedule, that tough schedule that I read, but the way that they play 6 or 7 games in a row against playoff caliber teams early in the season.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, it's tough. So, all right, we're 2.5 hours over.
Well, that's
so
good.
yeah, I think it's a good stopping point. So we'll do make and miss playoffs next week.
Yeah.
And then we will be off together 2 weeks from now because I'll be going to Vegas. So
we can do a show amongst ourselves, and we probably will. You and I talking.
I know. We could might as well film it. Put it on.
I don't know if we'll do 2.5 hours, but
yeah, well, while we enjoy our hot dogs at the Tuscany. Yes.
Well, unless you bring your computer and record everything.
I could. I'll have my computer.
And we don't have to worry about a camera.
That's true. That's true. That'll be off the board that week. So anyway, I will be on with Mike.
Unless you got a show going that Tuesday night or?
Yeah, that's Tuesday.
21st. Okay.
Yeah. It's one of 2 shows. I like to do one show when I'm in Vegas. If you want to come on, I usually have Tom on, but we do a three-man show if you want.
How long show?
It's not very long, like an hour.
I thought I heard you. Oh, I thought you said 3-minute show.
No, I said we could do a 3-man show.
Oh, 3-man show.
Yeah, with Tom.
That might be tough with just one computer between the 2 of us.
Oh no. Well, yeah. Well, I don't know. We'll figure it out. But,
we'll think about it.
Yeah. So anyway, I will be on tomorrow with Mike Lucchine from NFLRoughDraft.com. We'll do some fantasy football stuff. Tom will be back on Friday, I assume, and then normal schedule next week. But the week after, limited shows for travel. But Andy, I love doing the show with you as always. Do you want to talk about thelogicalapproach.com? We'll post it right here.
I did a lot of work on getting the proxy information together. I just need to do a final proof, and that'll be up there by Friday.
Okay. Awesome.
I'm working on like 16 projects at once.
That's how I feel like.
And I'm giving them my full attention, but they take time.
I know. I'm doing the same thing. Like I'm working on my book. I'm still working on my website, doing day trading, trying to improve my website, trying to add stuff to it, raising kids, doing the show. It's like juggling like a million things here. And and by the way, we're on Spotify. Our shows are on Spotify. So if you want to listen to it's just audio only, but if you want to listen to that, you can do that here. Trying to promote this. Charlie Campbell ranked all the GMs in the NFL from 1 to 32. Yeah, it's only a 33-minute show. So if you want to listen to it, it's a good listen.
Who is number 1 and who is number 33 as a tease?
Do you want to guess who number 1 was before we sign off?
I've always liked John Lynch. Where's he rank?
I think
5?
I think he's in the top 10.
Top 10, okay.
I think so. Yeah.
What conference?
NFC. I think the top 2 are actually NFC.
Yeah. I don't know. Could be with Rams.
Same division.
Seattle.
Yeah, Schneider.
Is
So
he
Schne-
is number 32 also in the division?
Well, he didn't rank the new 5 new ones. But
Okay.
27. I can't remember who 27 was. I remember the top ones.
Cleveland.
Maybe. I know. I think Spytech. I think Spytech's 27.
Oh, and he's with.
The Raiders. Yep.
He actually had a good off season.
Yeah, with Linderbaum, yeah, but Charlie criticized him on some of the draft picks. You know, not taking a receiver. They could have drafted Luther Burden. You know, they missed on him. Bunch of
Where'd Burden go to?
Chicago.
Okay.
Yeah. Ben Johnson said he would buy stock on Luther Burden for fantasy. So that was interesting. So yeah, so you guys can check this out. Charlie ranked all the GMs 1 to 27, I should say, because he didn't the 5 new ones he didn't rank. But yeah, it's a good, really good listen. Charlie knows his stuff, of course, and yeah, so we have all our episodes here on Spotify. But yeah, check out walterfootball.com. Tons of content there. Please hit like, subscribe, comment below, share this video. And like I said, visit our website. Visit thelogicalapproach.com as well if you want to have us a proxy for the
and just take a look if they want to take a look at our newsletters that we put out each week.
Yeah,
information about that. Yeah,
the newsletters are great. So I'd recommend signing up for those. So, all right, Andy. Hope you have a great night, and everyone else, I hope you have a great night. And I will talk to you